Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talking Games. It is Wednesday, 13th of April, 2016. And it's really weird to say that because normally we say a fake date, right?
Yes, this is true.
we
don't say a fake date, Jackie. We actually
it's
use
a real date, just
date.
not on the day that it actually is.
Yeah.
Off to a real smooth start so far. Oh,
Jackie, really?
right? I know. What is that? What is that noise?
That didn't help.
It's like the quickest, easiest way to make it shut up.
That does not
Except
make
it's still
going.
Welcome
No,
to
it stops.
episode 100, everyone.
We are so professional. So professional.
All
I don't even
right.
know where that was coming from. Anyway, Justin, you've got like 5 sides in already.
Seriously. Why don't you introduce everybody here, Jackie? This is the first time people might
Okay.
be seeing us.
This is our 100th episode.
This is our 100th episode.
We have like 99 more shows that I screw up on. Carry on. So, welcome to Talking Games. 100 episodes in. No more professional than I was on day one. I'm here tonight with Mr. Justin Townsend,
Hello.
Mr. Chuck McWilliams,
Hey.
me, Jackie Turner, Mr. Steve Say,
Hello.
and Bobby Shortall.
Hello.
Off camera. I know why he hasn't got his handsome mug on camera, but
He came behind you before while you were
Excuse me?
closing your laptop.
okay then.
What was that, by the way?
I don't know.
Why did that go off
Right?
when we started?
Right
You had
when we
your-
started, exactly.
You had your laptop open for an hour and a half.
I'm like, I was going to hide behind it, and now I'm going to be too scared.
She forgot to
like,
close
hide
one of those
behind it
secret
the whole-
Pornhub windows. Well, those
It could
pop-ups
be.
that you didn't know that happened until you close
Absolutely.
your browser
Yeah.
and somebody's there behind you
All of a sudden,
watching.
they're like telling you there's a mum right around the corner that really wants part of you. Come on. Come on.
How do you know what they say to me all the time?
I'm secretly
was
spying on your
special.
computer.
Those supermarkets, man, they're dangerous.
Supermarkets?
They'll pick you up.
What supermarkets?
Never mind. Forget it. So what's
Listen-
up? This is the 100th podcast.
It is.
How's everybody
Isn't that
feeling?
Crazy. I'm feeling like it's been 100 episodes.
Jesus.
God almighty.
We're having fun.
What,
Right?
do we have planned for tonight?
We have planned a little itty bit of what have you been playing? Because we always do that. A little bit of what have you been up to? Because we always say that. I have a good story,
Oh,
of course.
fantastic.
Can't wait for that.
And because it's our 100th episode, a little bit special, we are going to take some call-ins from some of our listeners. And it's a set of special listeners that we have that have really stuck with us since day one, that have always interacted with us and written in with some great feedback. And we really wanted to acknowledge just how big a part our listeners have been in us getting to 100 episodes.
And also, we've had way more dedicated, listeners than we would able to bring on the show this time.
Yeah.
So when we get to 150, we'll bring on more people.
Yes.
But again, this is a thank you to everybody that's been listening to us for the last almost 2 years. And we're super grateful, and we're going to get this train wreck rolling.
Oh, this train wreck is indeed rolling. So should we start with a little, what have you been up to?
Sure, Jackie.
Do you want to hear my stupid story?
Don't really care one way or the other, but I know people listening at home do. So
All right. So this isn't a boob story or a poop story. So
most
just
people
so no
All
one's
right,
let
I'm
down.
Leaving.
Exactly. I don't want to put any big expectations out there.
your laptop
you-
is playing music.
Are you
Really?
serious?
Isn't that crazy? I know, right?
Close
What?
YouTube.
Amazing.
Hit the
Amazing.
mute button.
Is that the mute button?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still doing it. All right.
Great. Can I go home
It's
now?
like a ghost in the machine.
It's a good thing we didn't
That's it,
get
I
that
quit.
drinking game going.
So my story. I have a pool in the backyard, and it's like 5 feet deep. It's built into the deck, and we've decided it's so old we're getting rid of it.
I know this
So
story.
you've heard most of this story, not all of it. So this week we had guys coming in to demolish it. So we had to drain it first. So I've got this little pump thing that I had running for like 8 hours, and it gets down to the very last bit in the bottom, but it kind of goes down towards the middle. So I was like, I need to jump down there and make sure, get the pump in the middle. So the pool's like 5 feet deep. I'm 5'7". I'm like, that's fine. So I jump in the empty pool, and I put the hose pipe in there, and I'm draining it out. I go to jump out the pool and realize I can't actually jump out the pool. And I was stuck because I couldn't climb up the side, which is ridiculous. So I'm stood in there and I start panicking because I'm stuck in the pool and there's no one home and no one's going to be home for hours. And I don't have my phone with me. And I'm like, what am I going to do? What, like, how do you, it's like open water. It's like slippery sides. How do I get out? So I'd also used like this footstool thing to like hold the power cord for the extension and the hose in place. So I'm looking at this footstool and I'm like, maybe I could use the footstool to somehow get to my phone and drag my phone over so I can call for help. And I spent 5 minutes trying to figure out how to do that before I was like, or maybe I could use the footstool to stand on and get out the pool. Yeah.
So how did you get out?
I used the footstool and climbed out. It was really bad. It was very embarrassing.
Wow.
Yeah, right? I was like, I could throw the stool and somehow hook it onto my phone.
So the other day, I met Jackie for coffee down in Patchogue. And she starts telling me the story. And when, movies or something, when the person gets that like 1,000-yard stare and somebody's just talking to them, kind of like Ben Affleck looks in that Dark Souls
That was exactly
video.
what I was thinking.
He's just standing there and he's just staring at his Saturn. That was my face looking out the window, being like,
yeah. See, he
why?
wasn't even listening.
Well, no, I was
rude.
listening.
So rude.
It just took me to a place where I couldn't believe.
Hello, darkness, my friend.
Yeah.
It happened. Like, what would you do in that situation?
I climb out of the pool like an adult. Like an adult
See,
human being.
you think it's easy, but have you actually had to pull yourself up a 5-foot wall lately? No.
The pool is coming down, so I'm sure you could have figured your way out of there.
Well, I did. I was going to throw the footstool at my phone and get my phone and call for
As
help.
soon as you
See?
said you had a footstool, my first thought was, why not use the footstool to climb
Exactly.
out?
See, this is where we differ because unfortunately that wasn't my first thought.
It's like walking around looking for your glasses when you're wearing them.
Oh, every day.
Oh, I do.
Every
that.
day.
I can't even fault for that one.
Right? Every day.
Or
they're on
where's my hat?
Yeah.
I'm wearing it. Where's my wallet? It's in my pocket.
Do you know how many times I've walked around like having a conversation with Jay like this? Like, where the hell is my phone? What? Where's
I
my
do that with my
phone?
car keys all the time. All the time.
Right.
And then like I come around and I'm looking for them and they're like, somebody's like, did you find them? And then I pretend I found them somewhere else. Like, yeah, they were in the couch. Weird.
Oh, I've totally done that as well. Justin, you've been up to anything fun?
I went to opening day.
Oh, yes. Tell everyone about your awesome tradition.
I've mentioned it before, but me and my dad go to opening day for the Mets for the last 30 years. He took me when I was 3 years old, and we expanded the tradition this year to my son. I was gonna say my youngest. That's not the truth. So Jorah is 3 years old. He's almost 4, and so we decided to take him this year, and we bought the tickets. And leading up to the game, looked like the weather was going to be just god awful. It topped out at like 49 degrees, so it wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. I mean, the Yankees had their home opener earlier in the week, and it was delayed by snow.
Ugh, yeah.
So we lucked out there. It was overcast, but the day ended up being really nice. We lasted until the 6th inning before he started getting just like beside himself with boredom. But he said, like, let's go
That
Mets
sounds like
and
me.
stuff. Yeah, we would have lasted till about the 3rd.
Yeah.
When the crowd was chanting "Let's go Mets," I got him on camera, just like going along with it without any prompts from me. They have in the back of the stadium behind center field, they have a little miniature wiffle ball field.
Yeah.
And so like young kids could go there and like hit the ball off of a tee and run around the fake bases and stuff. And so he had a lot of fun doing that. They won the game, which was great. We went to Hooters afterwards, which was also great.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
Because they have really good wings.
They do have
do
really
have
good
really good
wings.
wings.
Oh, so you're going with the same story?
That's true.
Really not for the sights.
It's the auto response. That's what
It is,
everybody
right?
says. I've
Yeah.
said that.
Exactly.
So congratulations,
Playboy
Justin.
for the
You've officially
articles.
made a lifelong disappointment for your son.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. I have.
Take him to a Jets game this year.
I
Just
mean,
complete it.
oh god, Jets, Knicks. I felt bad. Like during the World Series last year, I really gave it like a serious amount of thinking. Like, do I want to do this to my son? Do I want to set him up for this like insane heartbreak? And I thought about it, and I was like, I have no choice. Like, it has to happen.
Well,
It's
look
in
on
your
the
blood.
bright side. At least you're not a Cubs fan.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
So
So
Although I could be and just haven't realized it yet.
there's always
I
a
mean,
silver lining.
they won when I was 3 years old, and I don't remember it. So it's like, are they going to go my whole life without winning one? Then I will own. Then I'll be an Indians fan. So yeah,
Cool.
that was
That's
fun.
fun though. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it was a really great day. It was much more emotional than I thought it was going to be.
You did actually text me in the evening and say that was probably the best day of my life.
Yeah, it was really a special day for me and my dad, because like he had told me, yeah, I didn't really remember this conversation, but he said when you were like 10 years old, we were driving to the game this one time, and I said to you, I turned to you because by that time we had done this like 7 years in a row.
Yeah,
and he's like, one day you'll have a son, and one day we'll bring your son with us.
Awesome.
And when you're like 10 or 11 years old, you're like it's not even a thought in your head. You're like, whatever.
Girls are gross.
Yeah, I never,
Yeah.
I never thought that, but I didn't. It never didn't register with me. Even when I was hit my 20s and stuff, it was like children. Oh God, I'm nowhere near ready for that. And then here I am at 32, still nowhere near ready for it. But we brought him anyway.
Yeah.
So it was a really good day.
Awesome.
It's a milestone day.
Yeah,
exactly.
by far.
Something
I'm
to
trying to think,
remember.
anything else besides that in the last couple of weeks? Video games, babies, the usual. If
The
something
normal
comes to
stuff.
me,
Oh, making babies, huh?
oh God, no.
I keep joking with him about that. And he's like, no, just
No,
shoot me. If
I-
I get Ange pregnant again, just shoot me.
I increased my life insurance, and I would find a very, very good way to make sure she gets it. There's no way.
Yeah.
Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, that's like, weird. That stuff actually happens.
Right in the
Believe it or
middle of a
not.
very busy shopping mall.
Yeah.
That's how I want to go.
Chuck, what have you been up to?
Yeah, nothing.
Oh, you always say nothing.
I don't do anything,
Nothing.
man. I go to work and play video games. I'm not gonna talk about the video games. That's later.
That's true. He has a good point.
Well, I have to say, Chuck, you were super, super good to us today because today is your day off, and you got called into work.
Don't
and-
tell them that.
Oh, well, they're not listening.
You never know.
They're not listening.
You're probably not, but
He's like, you're blowing up my spot right
I
now.
like how you
man.
say like we're blowing up your spot, but if they were watching this, they'd be seeing you.
That's true.
you make an excellent point.
Yeah.
Let's wave.
We can put you in a mask. You can pretend to be someone else.
Yeah, only if it's a luchador mask.
Oh,
yeah.
I
How
wish I
funny
had
that
one.
you should say that. Because when it gets to my turn, we're actually going to talk about some luchador masks.
Well, that is very, very bizarre.
All right, we're
and
done with me. Let's move
I was
this
going to
on.
say, perfect segue, Steve.
That is the perfect
Please
segue.
explain what you mean by this.
I'll tell you why. You asked what we did this past week. Aside from video games, which I agree we'll be talking about later, I went this past weekend into Huntington to the Paramount for the first time, the concert venue that's down there now.
Yeah.
And I saw the band Pussifer. Pussifer is the lead singer of Tool's side project, kind of like Lone Wanderer lounge comedy weird ass thing that he does with the bass player of Ministry, the drummer of Devo, and Karina Round, and like a slew of other really talented musicians. And as an opening act, they had an act called Lucifer, which was a 4-person luchador comedy act with cartoon sounds as they were wrestling inside the ring with like full-on
Really?
Looney Tunes
And there was a
sounds.
ring and everything.
There was a ring. I have a picture. There was a ring, and they had it on stage. So it was male, female, the two teams, red and blue, and they were fighting it out. And they were doing like, some of it was really cheesy and whatever. And then they started getting to these like really complex grappling moves,
Mhm.
and it got really cool. And periodically, in between rounds, there would be another kind of like gimpy looking, like wimpy other luchador, and he had all black on and this white, like curly villain mustache. And he was coming out in between rounds and serving them wine. And the whole idea was that he would come out round after round and get them drunk, and then come out and beat them all and win the night.
Right.
So that's how that went. And then the band came out. They played for a little bit over 2 hours. They did music from all of their albums, and they performed in and outside of the wrestling ring. So they would be like rocking out in the front, and then they would move inside the ring. They had like theatrics. People were sitting in bleachers on each side of the stage, getting involved. They had these huge screens in the background with like dogs shooting lasers out of their eyes and like neon Godzillas, and it was just absolutely insane. I'd never seen a show at that venue,
Right.
and it's not bad. There's a lot of tribute bands that go through there, but
Yeah, they have a lot of big acts though. that
Yeah,
come
but,
through
like,
as well. Yeah.
people like Korn and Marilyn Manson and
Mhm.
stuff like that, like if
Oh,
you're into that thing anymore. But I'm saying like that level of production and that level of an act performing in a small ass place like that, if
Yeah.
you have the chance to go and see somebody that you like even remotely at that venue that normally plays arenas, you should go,
Mhm.
because it's a really good way to get like an intimate show. Though I do recommend, if you are going to go, get seats instead of floor. I was on
Oh,
floor.
really?
The tallest man on Long Island was right in front of me. I'm like 5'6", 5'6.5" or whatever. This guy was like, he had to have been 7 foot.
Wow.
He was huge. And I
So
was
that's what I have Jay for. Jay like works his way through the pit.
Yeah.
And then stands and I get around the front of him.
somebody actually almost started a fight because somebody had walked in front of other people that was taller than them. And his whole complaint was that he needs to go to the back of the room and get out of the way because he's tall. And he just turned around. He's like, "You serious right now, bro?" He's like, "What do you want me to do about the length of my legs?" And he looks at me and he
This
gives
is
me
the
this
worst, the worst fight ever.
it was
You're
ridiculous.
too tall.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's throw down.
Yep.
It was terrible, but the show was really good. There were 4 different acts to it, different sections, guests, and it was insane. It was really cool, and I got an amazing poster that I'm gonna get framed up, and it's got like gold inlaid ink in it.
Oh, sweet.
So it's gorgeous. Like if you look at it the right way, it's a poster of actually on my phone. There's a poster of a luchador girl whose eyes are like iridescent, and when you walk past
Yeah.
them, they shimmer
Oh, sweet.
and stuff like that. So and just tons and tons and tons of games where I can get them, and just awesome podcasts with the comic show. We had a
Neat.
really good one
Yeah.
last night as well.
Cool. Bobby, you want to tell us anything about your week?
I can't really tell you.
Well,
right now.
you could shout a yes or a no.
Do you want to come and sit?
No,
you-
no. My week was very boring.
Okay.
Other than the not boring stuff.
Can I make something up?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, it's all right.
It's okay.
He went parachuting this week.
You did
He did. Parachute didn't open.
with no shoot.
Yeah, is that it? What?
Wait,
It didn't
what?
open. Like he had the chute, it didn't open.
Superhero landing right into the middle of a
Exactly,
wedding, and then it's ready to
exactly.
work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just exactly. It was like a Deadpool moment.
And you guys thought I was going to be late.
Yeah.
He's quite spectacular when he gets going. You know,
Ooh.
gotta love the shawl.
Jesus.
That's my slogan.
Did you trademark it
Oh,
already?
God.
Okay. I don't even know where to go from here.
We can talk about some games.
Let's talk about some games. Since it's talking games, we could talk about some games. Who wants to go first?
We could do that. Sure.
could,
I mean,
right?
why not?
Anyone?
I'll go
It's
first.
not like we have a schedule or anything to run by.
Do
Totally
we?
fine.
Because you never really like passed that over to me.
I did, but then your laptop started talking and then you closed
I
it.
know I'm way too scared to open it now in case it starts doing anything
You
weird.
muted it. You can lift it up now. It'll be
Right.
fine.
We have
Alright.
no, we can't talk about
Dun,
games just
dun,
yet.
dun, dun, dun.
Nope.
Are
don't. Don't.
I did it
All right.
already.
No, I
Yeah.
watched her. I watched her put it
Yeah.
on mute. It's
So I
good.
did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can just like play solitaire or something while you're doing your thing.
Oh.
What did you
Yeah.
have been doing on my
Okay.
phone this whole time? Underneath the table. I'm just like this.
So what? I'm not allowed to talk about games yet.
Sure, you could talk about games
Is there a reason I can't talk about
for
games
the
yet?
next 7 minutes.
7 minutes. All right, Steve, give me 7 minutes of the best
Of
new
heaven?
game. No. That will be later.
Oh, hey now.
I want
Hi,
7.
Broadway.
That will not be on the stream.
It's happening.
All
Okay,
right.
I put you guys on
Talk to
camera.
me.
I will
Hey.
say,
You're
I will
acting
save,
insane.
I will save this podcast right now. Are you ready? Okay.
Yes. Do we need saving?
Almost.
Yeah.
We got there's if we had 10
We can only see
fingers
the tip
on-
of the iceberg right
Yes,
now.
yes.
Okay.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Oh,
Just for a
man.
second.
So I've played.
Archer's really good.
I'm
Who's calling me?
Oh,
Is some-
man.
we do. Bobby, is it from you?
not anymore.
No, not for me.
This is going.
Not anymore.
Very
no,
smoothly.
we're fine.
We're gonna
Okay.
have. Oh yeah. So we should just tell people that when the Skype calls come in, or we're gonna be making the
Yes.
Skype calls, you will hear the Skype music.
Yeah.
In
Yes.
all likelihood.
So
get ready to dance.
here's the deal.
We should all dance.
Since I've been on the show the past 2 weeks, 3 games have come out that I am positively ecstatic about,
hmm
and I will talk to you about them now. Justin,
Give us your new. Give us the number 3 game.
number 3 would be Hyper Light Drifter.
Okay.
Game's
Just
awesome.
just because of the stinging difficulty of it, that it's possibly my most definitely my
you
most
were
frustrating
sitting here
of the
like an
3.
hour ago cursing up a storm
Well,
at
I'm
the screen.
I'm stuck in a spot where I have 1 bit of health and no med packs in sight, and that quite literally, if I even something breathes on me, I die, which is super unfortunate. But the
Right.
game itself is fantastic. Justin's been talking it up for a while now on the pod. I feel like almost like the whole 2 years.
Yes,
I have heard
saw.
talk of it a lot.
I saw Hyper Light Drifter at PAX East like a couple, like maybe like 6 weeks after we started our first show,
Mhm.
and I started talking about it then.
Yeah.
So nearly 100 episodes ago.
So you were saying when you came back, you were like, "This is a you game,"
Yep.
meaning me, and you could not have been more correct because
Beer.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
This is so subtle.
so the game came out on Steam, and I grabbed it up, and I had no idea. I saw I think maybe like a short 30-second long video, and I decided to pick it up, and I got it. And man, it's awesome. It is kind of it is a top-down Zelda-ish, I would say,
Oh, really?
a little
Yeah.
bit,
Zelda plus Dark Souls plus
Transistor a little bit.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think visually.
Yeah.
It's a very
anyway.
interesting combination.
I think it
right
looks
now.
more like Fez than Transistor.
yeah, it's Transistor was very very beautiful. Like, not to say this game's not beautiful, but
Mhm.
Transistor had a lot more graphical fidelity going for
Right.
it than Hyperlight.
So I can't really tell you too much about the story because the little bits and pieces that I've got of it have been confusing at best. Something about an evil, I think we might have caused it, and now it's taking over, this fantasy kingdom or world that you're in,
Okay.
and you're traveling to north, south, east, west to defeat these bosses and kind of quell the evil. Very standard stuff, but there's no speaking roles in the game. You talk to people and they show you images, and they almost
Mhm.
like put visions into your mind of where these enemies are, and the whole object of the game is to traverse to these bosses to take them down. And there are different ways that you can go about it, but it almost always involves entering these cities at one point or another and making your way through dungeons to get to the bosses. So hey there, Bobby.
I didn't know you were drinking. Sorry.
Thank
it's
you.
fine. So the gameplay is really, really awesome. It is fast, it is brutal, and it is quick. You slash with your sword and you kind of dash around. You have to earn these moves. There are shops in town where you can upgrade your stuff. You can slash your sword in a circle to do double damage. Very difficult to pull off though, because you need to hold it down to charge it.
Mhm.
And there's so much happening all at once that you might as well like charge it around a corner and come around a corner. It's gorgeous. The music is really good. The gameplay is very just like, I don't know if frenetic is the word, but there's stuff coming at you from everywhere.
Right.
And the only thing that I was talking to Justin about this earlier, that I'm always talking about like the super positives of the game, and I don't focus on some of the negatives. I'm having a problem with the navigation of the world and the maps and stuff like that. They do give you a world map, but
Right,
they
yeah.
give you like generalities of where you are. There's no like inside the dungeons.
You can't be like next, left, first, right.
Right. Like I know that I have to go north right now where I am in the game, but the north passage that I could see from where I am on the map is
Mhm.
blocked because I can't go across water yet, or I don't have like a double dash
Okay.
to get me across water. So I have absolutely nowhere to go,
Right.
being stuck with one bit of health, trying to find either a med kit or a way around to get to a new area without dying.
Can you backtrack?
You can, and everything that you've killed previous is dead. So you can make
Okay.
your way back.
But every pickup you've made is gone, or
I don't know. I'm hoping that if I work my way back,
right? You can maybe be able to
I'll
pick up
find
health
like
packs
a
at least.
health pack in the bushes somewhere or
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay.
I
But-
can't wait for this game to come to console.
Mhm. And
It's-
is there any idea when that's going to be yet?
They said 2016, so sometime this year.
Okay.
I
Okay.
seriously, if any of what I said sounds like it's your bag, you're definitely going to want to check it out. It's kind of what I hoped that Titan Souls would be when it came out. I know it's a
Right.
different kind of game, but when we were talking about Titan Souls, this is kind of what I was imagining.
Mhm.
And now I have it. And
You have
it's-
what it was that you wanted
right.
with that
Yeah,
game.
Titan Souls
Yeah.
had like a very unique hook to it,
Mhm.
you know. But I understand why you think that, and they can look similar.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like the traversal of the world, and I mean, in Titan Souls you have one shot kill kind of scenario. This is so many enemies at one time. I mean, they dogpile them on, and there's ninja stars to avoid. There's enemies that explode. There's ones that leap across the entire stage and hit you for 2 health, and you only have like 4 or 5 bits worth of health, and then you're dead. Med kits, you could have like maybe up to 3 or 4. They're relatively hard to come by, let alone even harder to hold on to. You have this little kind of like doohickey that's flying around with you,
Mhm.
kind of letting you know the deal. Like if you want to pick something up, if you want to activate it, he'll fly
Navi.
over to it. Yeah, exactly. You have a Navi. And every time you get down to 2 health, it'll start blinking the little like cross symbol and be like, hey man, like you might want to do something about this. And when there's nothing to do, it's just there all the time, and you just got to ignore it. So until you can find some health, but super, super fun, super engaging. I was up late. I am just about finished with the second boss.
Nice.
And I believe there's got to be more than 4. But even if there wasn't, I would not be dissatisfied with what I've played in the game so far. Like the bulk of what I've played from point A to point B to get to that first boss was a lot of running around and things like that.
Cool.
Just a little bit of advice for listeners looking to get into the game. I went into every wrong area that you're supposed to go in terms of like difficulty. Go north when you first get the game, and I'll leave the rest to you, but go north.
All right.
Sweet.
I got that Hyper Light Drifter shirt like 2 years ago, and I'm excited to finally be able to be like, this is the game. This is the game that I've had this shirt for.
And you feel like if you walk down the street wearing it,
Nobody's going to know.
yeah, people will now be like, oh my God,
Yeah, nobody's going
it's
to know.
that game. All right. Anyway.
It's tough,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, I'm super excited to play that game.
You got to get the dashing down. There's like a little training room that they make you dash around corners to get used to using it all the time. Because a lot of the time, one of the main reasons that I even die is because I'll dash right into a projectile, and then like it's game over.
Game
Right.
over, man.
Yeah.
So, are we gonna take a call?
Yes.
Yay!
And another Talking Games first. We're
How
going to take a live
exciting.
call. It's terrifying, actually.
It's exciting. Steve's dealing with it, so we can just be like,
So we're going to call Jeff,
It's all my fault.
who's at GM Beaton. No, he's at
at Scrunchion.
Scrunchion.
And actually, Jeff has jumped in on the raid that we did with Extra Life
Oh,
last
good,
year.
because I'm going to talk to him about that.
Yes,
and
it was
ask
very
him-
funny.
And ask
About
what it was like to be led by you.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh, can we not?
All right. So you want me to call him?
Yes, please.
That was the least
No,
exciting
we told
moment.
everybody when they were going to call in to just talk about whatever they wanted. So we're going to
Mhm.
come in kind of blind with most of this.
Yes,
Good job.
this is a first for
Hey,
us.
this is going great so far. Mine as well.
All right. Here we go.
It's exciting.
Hope it's calling.
You guys can keep talking. You don't have to.
Well, I was waiting
don't
for the
know. I was
music.
waiting for it
I was
to
going to
ring.
talk over the
Yeah.
music.
I was waiting for it to be like beep 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 beep.
Call Skype.
I could do that noise. Bring bring
Do,
bring
do,
bring.
do.
Oh,
That's not the music. It's only when we're being called.
Yeah, that's right.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
This part's
fine.
even this. We should have had them call us.
Yeah.
Although they probably just tried to.
Hello. Hey
Jeff?
Jeff. Hey Jeff, you there?
Yeah,
Hey man, what's going on?
not much. Playing a little bit of ML16, the show.
Whoa. Welcome
Cool.
to the show, man. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, no sweat.
Hello.
You're playing MLB the Show right now?
Yeah, losing to the Royals, playing with my Red Sox.
I know what it's like to lose to the Royals.
Bobby is a Red Sox fan. He's very excited. He's waving over here.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah.
It's his
Mm.
secret shame.
So how did you come about becoming a Red Sox fan? That's just interesting to me.
Actually, I mean, I live in northeastern Canada, and you would think that I'd be a Jays or an Expos fan, but I grew up being a Bruins fan, Boston Bruins hockey, and so I guess early on, I mean, I was always a Celtics fan, a Red Sox fan. I guess it just came because I was a Bruins fan.
Nice.
And,
Cool.
yeah, I've been that way now for 30 plus years.
So how do you like the show so far?
I like this format. It's very cool.
No, I
like
meant like I actually meant like MLB the Show. I was just abbreviating
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
it's different. They've added some new game modes through some of their the Diamond Dynasty, and it's okay. I kind of see where they're going with it, but the core gameplay is pretty much the same. I mean, I've been playing the franchise for a while now, and it's more difficult this year. I got to say I'm losing more than I'm winning, but it's good graphics. It's a beautiful game. It's real good. I like it a lot.
I always think every year is the year that I'm going to be. I pick up MLB The Show. And I'm like, this is the year. This is the year. And then I never get around to it, even though I love baseball so much. I'm terrible at those games.
You know when you'll get it, right?
When the Mets win the World Series,
Yep.
yeah. When the Mets win the World Series, I'll probably get it. But that's never going to happen.
Because that's what I keep saying about. That's when I'll pick up NHL. Is when the Islanders win the cup.
We're going to be waiting a while.
It'll
Yes,
be in
we
like
are.
full VR, and you'll just be running around your living room with a hockey stick.
That
right?
sounds like
That sounds
nothing
horrible.
I want. Yeah, no.
So, what else have you been playing?
Playing a lot of the Division. I've logged, I don't know, a lot of time. Many hours.
How many hours do you think you're into it?
I don't know. I mean, it's not hours now; it's days.
Yeah.
Probably 6-7 days.
Oh wow,
Ooh.
that's
Wow.
a good amount of time in the
That
And
division.
is-
all of it,
Yes.
I'd say probably 95% of it solo.
Wow.
Wow.
What's
Yeah,
been
your-
that's the way to go with that game.
What's been your favorite aspect of the game so far? Like, what have you spent most of your time doing?
I like doing the replaying the missions on hard, especially since the new patch, because with killing the bosses now, of course, I get high-end drops. Whereas before, you never ever got that.
That's right. I haven't
I-
played since that patch came out.
Wasn't that just
That's
yesterday, right?
Big,
Yeah.
big time difference. It's the drops now are much easier. The crafting has gotten a lot harder because it requires a lot more materials to make, just to make stuff. But the drops are way better, a lot easier, a lot of high end drops. So my inventory has changed big time over the past 2 days since the new patch. And playing a little bit of Dirt Rally on Xbox One as well.
Wow.
What's that? I
That's
haven't
kind
heard
of
that.
the Dark Souls of racing games. Very difficult game.
It's a good
That,
comparison.
no, the Dirt Rally game, that's like a callback for them, right? To like one of the original type of Dirt games.
It's. I'll be honest with you. I kind of bought it sight unseen. I'm big into racing games. I played a lot of the Forza, Project Cars. A lot of my Xbox One I really use for racing games. PS4 I use for everything else. And I had heard a lot of good about Dirt Rally. Picked it up and kind of sight unseen. I was expecting it to be more of an arcade racer, but it is not. It is total sim.
I would be so bad.
very,
I would be so
very
bad at that.
Yeah, it's taken a lot to get into it. I'm playing a lot with the settings, it's a lot like Project Cars, where I mean you can tweak it down to the very fine details, and they do make a big difference.
Do you play with like a racing wheel, or do you just use the standard gamepad?
No, I'm not quite that hardcore.
Not that
I
hardcore?
just used regular Xbox One controller.
Nice.
That is a good controller for racing games.
What have been some of your favorite racing games from the past?
Well, I mean, going back to the PlayStation, oh geez, the name of it just totally flew out of my mind.
Project Gotham. Remember that?
Project Gotham Racing. No, that was an Xbox.
That was
game.
Xbox.
Yeah.
That was an Xbox,
Gran Turismo.
Midnight Club, maybe? Burnout? I'm just naming all of them now.
Need for Speed.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's. I mean, at the time before Forza. Well, I guess again, Forza is an Xbox thing, but it was the racing game for PlayStation.
Gran Turismo.
It has to be Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo, yes. Again, it just totally flew out of my mind. But I mean, I started with that. I played the first few of those, and they were always my favorites. Eventually, when I picked up the 360, I started playing the Forza. I guess I started with Forza 2, and I've been playing those ever since. The Forza Horizon series. They are fantastic games. They're by far my favorite. Drive Club was good. In the beginning, it was a nightmare, but once they ironed it out, that was a fantastic game. And actually, I heard a little while back that Evolution Studios was closed. So too bad. I guess there won't be a Drive Club too.
No, but they
Oh.
got picked up by Codemasters. And Codemasters, I think, does the Dirt games.
Indeed, they
So-
do. Yeah, you are correct.
They will, if they picked up that whole studio, then they'll be doing something good with it.
Sweet.
They
Yes.
will live on.
That's one of my
Absolutely.
little pet peeves is with racing games. I love racing games and they're fun, but I hate the ones where when you crash, there's actually consequences. I can't stand crashing my car and having them be like, you need to go fix it now. I don't want to.
So you don't like any racing
No,
games?
I want to throw a banana out the back of
so you
me
wanna
and
play
carry
Mario
on.
Kart.
Well, a great thing about Forza is the rewind feature. If you crash, you rewind
Yep.
and try it again.
Oh,
That
Burnout
is
was great
good.
for that. Burnout was like, oh, you crashed, rewind,
Oh, Burnout
rewind.
was so
oh
good.
god, they need to bring Burnout back.
They
Burnout
should.
was like, hey, you crashed, keep going. That's the point of the game.
Yes,
Exactly. That's,
make other people crash.
I don't want to have real life consequences in a racing game.
Jackie, you don't want real life consequences for anything.
Oh, I wish. That would be so good.
Awesome. What do you got? We got other calls coming in?
Yeah, we got
or-
other calls coming in too. So Jeff, just want to say thank you so much for being with us this whole time. I mean, you've been interacting with us on Twitter since the very early days, and so
And the Extra Life raid.
yes, and the Extra Life raid where you sat very patiently and being led by a very confused Jackie Turner through a raid she's been through 1,000 times.
Oh,
It was an experience.
It was
a lot of fun.
hysterical. As soon as we got down to the Gorgon's lair, I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble because all I ever do is follow the little name thing that either says Nick or Mike. Follow that guy. He knows where he's going.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Well, again, Jeff, thanks so much for taking the time to call in and for supporting us for these last 2 years.
Yes, thank you so much.
Indeed.
All right, congratulations on 100 shows, guys.
Thank you.
Hopefully,
Thank
have
you.
another 100. Have 100 more.
Thank you so much.
We will try.
Thanks so much.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
Well, that went well.
It,
Oh,
it,
Yeah.
it
So,
did.
Love that guy.
Bobby is watching us.
I am.
Bobby who?
Bobby North. Bobby North
I was
is
going to say,
watching
because
us.
Bobby Short was
I am.
over
I'm
there
right
like,
here.
Yes. Yes, Bobby.
No, you're not. You're watching your phone.
yeah, only because he's giving me shit on Twitter while I'm trying to host. It's very off-putting. Yeah.
So yeah, Bobby is watching us, and again, like we said, that Bobby's on just a bit of a sabbatical while he actually fixes up his house for more people to come live with him for a time being. His in-laws are coming. Oh no, his parents are coming to live with him for a while. So he's like, I've got work to do. So Bobby, we say hello. We wish you
I
were
miss
here
you.
and come back soon. I think we call
Who's
Kelsey
next?
now.
Yes.
I miss his laugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, me too.
His annoyed, like, I'm just gonna sigh and laugh at the same time. Don't mind the sounds that I'm making.
Just random sounds.
All right, who
Yep.
we we got next
Kelsey.
on the hit list?
Kelsey.
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 Okie
All right, let's see.
All right, let's keep this going. We got good motion.
Shuts up.
We got good
dokie.
momentum
I
going.
know, right? It's so weird.
I was
like dead air is like,
talking.
ooh, well, I was talking over you. All right.
I gotta
I
look
can't help
for
it
her,
if I
man. I'm
speak so
very
quietly.
popular on this Skype going on here. Hold on a second. I seriously I can't find her name right now. Just give me a second. She tried calling before.
And momentum's
No, she
I
didn't.
know, right?
That
We were
other,
doing so good.
the other name.
All right, we got this going.
You
We're
can
going.
do it.
We're
You can do
Nope.
it. You can do it. How many do you have on there?
Good Lord, you're very popular, aren't you?
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. Just talk for a second. I gotta find her.
All right.
Somebody,
Give me a
somebody
game
else
you
talked
played
about a
this
game.
week.
Really?
Yeah.
Right now?
Give me a game
Oh,
you
I'm
played
sorry.
last month.
I can't stop playing Smite.
Oh, you have an issue with that.
No, I really don't.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
really good game.
It's really good.
I don't
know,
even play it. I
I
just
dream-
sign on every day.
Many moons ago, when I was
Yeah.
playing this on PC when we first started, I was like, imagine if this comes to consoles and I can get all my
Right.
friends into it. And all my friends tried it and none of them can get into it.
Well, you have one, right? One friend that plays it a lot with you, Eric.
Yeah, no,
Who's
Eric
been on
but
the
no,
show before, right?
Yeah, Eric's been on the show, but
Mhm.
he was who I was playing with on PC. So it used to be Eric, me, Bob, and then eventually our friend Mike from Broken Thumbsticks started playing with us. But we wanted more people so that if somebody wasn't there one day, they could come in and like, you know, fill in a spot. Steve's motioning to me.
The reason that I couldn't find her is because she has yet to accept our details. So we need to. Can we just call anyway?
I think it's with Holland.
All right.
Cool.
She's watching, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna interrupt you both and try calling her and see what happens.
okay.
That's nothing new.
I mean, go ahead.
Oh,
I like that little drum beat.
Yeah, but now it's going to. Oh, it didn't even do the beep deep thing.
oh, call failed.
Oh,
That
nope.
was sad.
Well, I'll keep talking. I'll keep
Oh.
talking about Smite while that
That's mine.
gets
Right.
settled up.
Just want to hear
So
more
who's playing
about
it with you
Smite.
on the console?
It's the same people that were playing like 2 years ago, plus Chuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You're
Chuck
playing
joined.
T-shirt?
Every now
yeah.
and then, Chuck
Yeah.
joins in with us. But
Unfor-
all the rest of the guys from Broken Thumbsticks tried it, and they could not get their heads around it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a game that
Well,
takes.
I
it-
mean, to be
Have
fair,
you listened to that show?
Yeah, they're not the sharpest tools in the
it
shed. are
has
they?
nothing to do with that. Although I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I did.
Okay,
Right
Jackie
here.
said it.
I agree.
But it takes a certain amount of dedication and like wanting to learn more about the game so that way you can be better. It takes a lot of like outside of the game reading. And if you're not
see this, that's the issue. They have to be able to read to play this game.
much.
All right. Hi, Nick.
So yeah, I have to be like 50 hours in on the console version.
Really?
And I keep
Wow.
I
He's
keep
on there
saying
a lot.
I keep saying like I'm going to go play other things, and like I've dropped the Division
So
completely.
what are all your broken thumbsticks peeps playing?
They're all playing the Division.
They're into the division.
Yeah, so right
still?
now Eric, me, and Bob are playing Smite nightly for
Right.
pretty much the entire night.
Wow.
And Mike will join in like a couple nights a week, and every now and then we get Chuck in there to come play tank for us. It's so good. It plays great on console. They're
Mhm.
almost they're not day and date with PC. They may never be, but they're not that far behind.
Right.
The PlayStation version is coming out like like we're at 3.5, or we will be, I think, by the end of tonight. And 3.6 just came out for PC. So we're a couple weeks behind them. But new characters coming out all the time. I ended up buying the God Pack was on sale. So it was usually $30. It was $15. So I have access to all the gods, which is like 70 of them. And then every other character they release, I just immediately get for free.
Cool.
And I can't stop playing. It's so good.
I will jump on with you guys more as soon as I'm done with Dark Souls. Well, I'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah, I think Bobby's got some Dark Souls too. Yeah.
Don't raise the roof over there.
Which actually was a strange little coincidence we found out this week. On our very first show, we talked about Dark Souls 2 and we talked about Titanfall. And then this week, just
Dark Souls 3 came out this week, and Titanfall 2 was announced.
yeah. So,
So-
weird little coincidence.
Yeah,
right
Chuck
there.
was the one who told that to me. And you know, because he was listening to the first show. And Steve, can you just look at the Twitter account?
Yeah.
And that's just a bit of nice symmetry. Also, I'm really excited for Titanfall 2.
Yes.
Yeah, mech swords.
Yeah, they dropped a sword. Like, first of all, their
Oh,
teaser was
really?
like a couple of seconds long, and it was just like, okay, there's a Titan, and then all of a sudden the Titan, like you see their hand, and all
Like
of a sudden like a
Pacific Rim.
sword comes out. Yeah, pretty much you're
I
just
think it's
missing.
electrified.
Yeah.
All right. So it sounds ridiculous, but fun.
Love.
So
Tanky
we're
robots.
gonna see more of that at E3 this year.
Okay. When is that this year?
June 13, 14, 15, 16,
you
like somewhere in that time
going?
frame. God no. One day, Bobby and I keep talking about going.
You gotta do it.
We might do it
Next year.
Mhm.
next year.
Yeah.
Last year we said this year,
Yeah.
Right.
but now we're serious. Now we're really
Yes,
we're
you've
really
gotta do
thinking about it.
You
So we're
have to
gonna do it.
Well, because you've always done PAX East,
Yes,
and
Oh, God,
you hit the
PAX East.
PlayStation. You hit the PlayStation experience this year as well.
I know,
Well,
but I'm
last year.
so sad because PAX East is next week and I'm not gonna be there
Why?
because I went
You
to.
always do that.
I know, but I went to PSX instead. Because first of all, and I told this to Bobby last week on Agree to Disagree. Thank you for the kind words on it.
It
Of
was
I listened
very
to it. It was
funny.
good.
It was very funny. Yeah.
course,
Of
course, it was good.
sorry to interrupt, but honestly, my favorite bit was Bobby with the hi, who are you? What are you gonna do? Snakes out of my head. That bit I was actually at the gym and I laughed out loud.
You know, Eric and I always go, and so we decided like we missed PSX last year, their first year, and we were like we should go to that, and then we found out it was going to be in San Francisco, and we had to make a very quick decision on like, hey, the tickets are on sale right now because I thought they would sell out right away, and they didn't, and so we decided to go there instead of PAX East. And in hindsight, it's probably still the right decision because PSX was really cool and we got to go to the conference and everything. But just knowing that we're not going to be there when PAX East is kicking off is a little bit upsetting.
Yes, it
So
is.
next year we're all going to go. We're doing that.
No,
Yeah.
No.
no, we
no.
had so I'm not staying
What,
in a
E3?
hotel room.
No, PAX
anywhere
East.
near you.
Oh, okay.
You can't even stay in a hotel with me.
We had this conversation like 2 days ago.
You could get your own room.
Yeah, maybe
God,
as long as it's like on a completely different floor from all you people.
I like how you think you're some like beacon of shining light and like there's nothing ever wrong with you. Steve's giving me a thumbs up.
I
I'm
just
not
don't
giving
want.
you. I'm giving Kelsey the thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
I just don't want to have to like share my shit with you. That's what
Oh,
it is.
okay.
All right. I think we're good.
also hang on, just quickly. I did get a text from Bobby North. Ask Justin why he's so bad at Smite.
True story. Ask Bobby why he never cracks 500 as a score ever.
It's a little back and forth right here. So Steve, I'm gonna
hate
head
you.
over to you.
All right. We're gonna try giving her a call, and hopefully this works.
Fingers crossed.
That's a beep.
It's a new one.
I want some music.
Yeah, where's the music?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did.
Yay.
Technology.
How are
guys
you,
hear
Kelsey?
me?
What's up?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just really nervous.
Oh, don't be
Oh,
nervous.
You can't be more nervous than me. Don't worry about it.
Do you have a laptop that's going to start playing music the second, or is your phone going to go off or anything like that? Because do not worry. Even if it does, you're still not as bad as Jackie Turner.
Exactly. You can't be
no,
less
I shut
professional than
everything
me.
off because I was so nervous.
So thanks for calling in. Do you have any questions for the group?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to know because it's part of like the Talking Comics. I wanted to know if you guys have any like comic to video game adaptions that you really like.
I can't really.
Well,
What,
I'd say for me, Batman, straight, like, that's the first thing I
the
think.
Arkham games?
Yeah, absolutely. The Arkham games.
It's
I love
it's not a
them.
straight comic adaptation, but he's a character
Yeah.
from the
Mhm.
comics.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
So that would be my number one. But then also, like, I really, really loved A Wolf Among Us.
That counts. No, that totally
was,
counts.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
And in the same way, The Walking Dead is also
Mhm.
yeah.
an adaptation.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anybody else?
Chuck, what about you? Come on, we've been playing games for a while. You want to go back to Maximum Carnage?
No, I never played that game.
Let me ask you this: what is everybody's anticipation for the Batman Telltale game? What do you think it's going to be?
I'm super excited.
Well, okay, well, Kelsey,
Oh,
what
good.
are your hopes for that game? What do you want it to be?
Well, like I really enjoy the Telltale games because they set up this episodic theme that's been kind of popular lately, which I really enjoy.
Mhm.
And I hope that the Batman sort of like that, where every end of the episode, I guess,
Yeah.
is an interesting cliffhanger or like an introduction to maybe one of the villains.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Then it all
that's good.
ties in at the end. That's something I would look forward to.
That would be cool.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
I know, Justin, you've read Gotham Central.
Yes.
How awesome would it be to have a Gotham Central style Telltale?
Oh yeah,
game?
for sure. That would be fantastic. I'm excited for the Telltale Batman thing.
Mhm.
I mean, playing Tales from the Borderlands completely like reinvigorated me to play some of their
I gotta
stuff.
play that. I still gotta play
So
that.
good. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. So the Spider-Man games have been hit and miss for me.
Mhm.
Some really stand out. Spider-Man 2 stands out. Shattered Dimension stands out in a big way. There was another
Yes.
one. What was the name of it? Web of Shadows, where it was the most comic booky Spider-Man game because it had a lot of guest stars. So like Wolverine was there and Luke Cage was there. It had multiple endings, but
Man,
it dealt with like Venom and the symbiotes, and it was an open world. It was like an Xbox 360 game. It got like okay reviews, and I don't know why because it has like a cult following.
Mhm.
There was like one ending where you could go like just leave Mary Jane and go be with Black Cat, and I was like, this is great.
I got my games. I finally got them. One, the Marvel Heroes that's out right now
Yeah.
on the PC. I can't believe I didn't think of that first.
I don't know why you didn't think of that.
And then my other one, my absolute favorite, probably of all time, it's a toss-up between either the X-Men arcade game, which was always a classic in any arcade.
That
and
game
then-
is straight up terrible.
No, it's not.
It is terrible.
Oh, come on.
dear.
No, that is a bad.
The
game.
Wendigo.
Yes, I know. Captain America and the Avengers is
Fucking
a great
great.
game.
But no, do you remember Captain America and the Avengers?
Yes,
That-
fantastic.
Okay,
That
at
game-
least we
that
see
game
eye to
is-
eye on that one.
That game is amazing.
It was like the golden axe of Marvel games.
thought that X-Men game was really great until like it was like 6-7 years ago, where you could download it on Xbox Live, and we
Yep.
beat it in like 15 minutes. And I was like, this wasn't as good as I remember.
The same thing happened with the Simpsons arcade game, man.
I don't remember that.
What?
Well, I remember it, but I don't remember playing it on Xbox.
You stand next to each other and you start doing team
Yeah,
up
no,
attacks.
I remember that. So,
good.
Kelsey, what other games do you play? Like what other types of games? What are you playing right now?
Okay. I really like games with stories just because like I suck at shooters.
Yeah,
I
you make a
always
friend.
did. Yes. Yes.
Right now I'm playing Undertale because I heard really good reviews from it last year,
Nice.
and it was $10 on Steam, so I'm like, might as well. And I also got Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah.
Which you guys were talking
Oh,
about
yes.
before, so-
yes, Steve's been playing that a lot.
So
Yeah. I kind of don't understand the story yet. So that's like really what I'm focusing on. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
It's very tough. I mean, they're only showing you images, right? And it was
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
this like crazy fantasy info dump in the beginning, and then you just periodically talk to NPCs that are like, somebody burned down my farm and they're beneath this dungeon. And talking to like goats and robes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's the world is so bizarre.
It's so bizarre,
Yeah.
but so beautiful. Like I'm obsessed with the art. I take screenshots like every time there's a pan out of like the world. I don't know. It's just so nice.
That's awesome.
How far have you made it in the game? Have you fought any of the bosses yet?
I fought one,
Nice.
the first one. That's the only I've only gone that far just because I'm playing Undertale and that at the same time.
Okay.
And so when I get stuck in either or, I just like switch.
Let me know if you find the second boss, the one to the east, because I can't find them.
Okay.
I'm stuck right now, and I've got 1 bit of health, so it's gonna be. I either have to start from the beginning again, which I wouldn't mind now that I know where to go and like my
Yeah.
skills are up. That I could just breeze through, but I would prefer not to. They kind of save every few rooms that you move.
Yeah,
So if
exactly.
you've like, even if you didn't like the way your run went and you go back, you're stuck with it. It's tough.
Wow. All right. Well, Kelsey, I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm sure you remember on the show Justin attempting to pronounce your last name. So I would love if you would tell us your last name in your own words.
Well, my last name is Czech.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's Czech. It's Lavati. You just don't pronounce the H.
Oh, okay. I
Nobody can
love
fault me for not getting that.
it's just whenever we get anything that looks a little like difficult, we hand it to Justin because it's always
don't know.
comedy, pure
It's
comedy.
terrible. Don't stop doing that to me.
And then the other question is, putting you on the spot, what's your favorite all-time game if you had to pick one? As Steve said to me earlier, I've broken into your house, I've held a gun to your head. What's your favorite game?
That was off air. Nobody knew he said that.
Yeah.
But it was very funny. That's why I'm saying it
You
now.
gotta do it in the voice.
Or you do it in the voice. You ask Kelsey in the voice.
I've broken into your house. I have a gun to your head. You can only play one game for the rest of your life. Which one will it be?
That was creepy.
That
But
was
please,
great.
Kelsey, answer.
Yes.
Oh my god. I really, really like The Last of Us.
Good
Oh
choice.
my god, this person's awesome.
Justin's very happy right now.
It's a
as
great
well.
game.
That is
Like
such a
that-
depressing game.
that
It
is
is,
a
but it's really
fine,
good.
fine
Oh
choice.
no, yeah, I cried. But
Yes. Yep.
Did you play the
I-
DLC for it?
no.
Oh, you have to.
you gotta
You
play
have
the
to. It's so
DLC.
good.
I think
Yeah.
it's
Because
standalone
I
now.
always play them late. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I have so much things
Yep.
to play. And
Well,
can-
that one is quick.
You can buy the
Yeah.
the DLC standalone now. I think it's
Yeah.
like $10-15, and it's
Yeah.
yeah, I
completely
think
worth
I
doing.
will.
It really is good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that DLC. It's so good.
Yeah. Good choice, Kelsey.
I also really liked. I never played from the Super Nintendo system. The Link Between Worlds. That was the first
Oh,
Zelda
yeah.
game, right?
Link to the Past.
Link to the
Yeah.
Past, yeah. And then Link Between Worlds came out like last year, I think, or 2
The
years
three
ago.
the
3 years
3DS
ago.
version, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I never played the first one, but I really enjoyed that one. The most
Oh,
recent
you
one.
have to play that game. That is my favorite game of all
Yeah,
time.
As you'll see on camera, he's wearing a Zelda hat right now.
I love that game.
Yes.
Good stuff. Did you have any other questions for us?
Oh no, I'm good.
Good.
Kelsey, it's been
right.
lovely hearing from you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your support. Like we say, we love like hearing back from listeners because otherwise we're just talking into dead air. Right? It's very true.
Sure.
Justin's sighing at me right
Seething
Yeah.
behind the microphones
now.
every
Right?
other week.
Yeah, exactly. It would be sad.
But seriously, Kelsey, thank you so much for taking the time to come and chill with us on our 100th
No
podcast.
problem.
Really appreciate it. All your support and everything.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, this is
That's
going
awesome.
good. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it
It
up.
is, right?
We
Oh, she
have-
had such a lovely voice.
She did.
Right?
Very nice.
Who we got
nice
now?
voice.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yes, that as well.
Who?
Listen, there's a lot of comic book video games. Ultimate
Comic
Alliance.
Zone.
Not that many good
Comic Zone was all right.
No, that game was trash.
Oh, it's not. You're trash.
I am a trash monster. I am.
All right, who do we got?
Luciana.
All right. Oh,
Yay.
nice. Yeah. I'm gonna talk to this dude. I've known this guy
Yes.
forever.
All right.
Yes.
Let's find him. Let's find him now.
Some nice ringing sounds.
So I really want to go back at Bob with the Smite thing, but I'll choose not to. So I mean, as just a funny story, like last night, Bob and I were playing just the two of us,
Mhm.
and
Just the two of us.
I was watching Daredevil last weekend.
No spoilers.
No
That
spoilers.
is just
You
horrible.
and
Like
I.
I know you think your harmonies are good right now, but in either ear, it's just not.
So
You haven't been on the show. I'm sorry. This is what Chuck and I do now. So
Really? I miss 1 week and all of a sudden I'm out of the harmonies. All right, let's go. Fa la 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 la.
No, stop, please.
keep
I'm
going.
gonna spoil Daredevil for you right now.
I'm finding you
Don't-
right now,
No
Luciano.
spoilers.
So we were playing. Me and Ange watched it. We finished it,
Oh, that's right. He's
and it was 1 a.m. And I was like, Bob's playing Smite, and I got on at Smite at 1 a.m. and got off at like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my
Just
God,
just
you're
to
crazy.
jealous.
I've already had like 7 hours sleep by that point.
Yeah, I know.
ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. I like the energy there, Chuck.
Oh.
Finished it, and it was.
Luciano.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, man,
Hey.
what's going on?
Not much. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good. I didn't know I was going to get some video of you. Can you see
Oh,
me?
yeah.
No, you can't see me.
Yes, I can see you. I
you
don't know how to
can- oh,
use
you can see the
Skype, so
stream.
I would
apologize.
say we are live streamed.
Can you
No.
see me as he ignores the giant
No,
camera?
no.
Pay no attention to the camera in front of the
I'm
room.
watching you guys on YouTube and Skyping on the
Oh,
Skype. So
Very nice.
You have very pretty pink curtains going on back
Oh, yes,
there,
I
man.
see.
Yeah, I'm
in my
liking the
daughter's
pig.
room, so it's not mine.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. We
Dude,
believe
dude,
you.
there's nothing wrong with pig.
I like pink, man.
Well, the house is a bit of a shambles. I was gonna tell Justin 3 kids isn't a problem. I just had my third. So
Oh God,
Oh,
Bless you.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
And oh, we feel bad for you.
boy,
I'll tell
boy
you
or
how it's
girl?
going in a few years.
Was it a boy or a girl?
Girl, I got 3 now.
Wow.
Three
Three girls. Oh
Wow.
man.
Their teenage years are just going to involve you in a baseball bat, huh?
Probably.
So I feel like I've known you forever because of other interactions between Twitter and the podcasts and everything. What have you got for us tonight, man? I feel like this is a long time coming. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having me on the show. I feel the same way. You guys are an awesome community and reach out all the time, so I feel the same way.
Luciano, before you keep going, I just wanted to thank you. You sent us a very nice email, which we would have read on the show, but we figured having you on was better instead. But
yes,
we read that email. And we're sincerely thankful for it.
definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I appreciate you guys reaching out. Like I said, yeah, one of the first questions I had is I know Justin's opinion. He's getting virtual reality or the headset there for PlayStation. How do the rest of you guys feel? I kind of got burned with the Move stuff with Kinect and Wii and all that. So
I'd say first of all, Justin's
is it a
opinion.
fad or is it going to last?
I don't know, Justin's opinion is not really that important on the whole, so I
Also,
wouldn't worry about that.
yes. Also, don't follow my advice because I'm getting it, but I always get sick after I wear it. So I'm not the smartest on it. But seriously, what do you guys think about that?
It's like spending money on a hammer you're just going to hit yourself in the head with. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I've pre-ordered mine. I got the Core headset, and I feel I don't know how to feel yet. Like the reception to the VR has kind of been mixed, but it's also very early stages, right? Like it's the beginning of anything is going to be rough, and a lot of it's going to be shovelware and mini games and things like that. I'm excited to enter the era of where virtual reality is an actual thing, and that there are multiple ways in which to engage with it. I wish that it wasn't so expensive, but I do understand like the cost of components and stuff like that. I've chosen to do the PlayStation VR and feel as if right now like I'm flying in pretty blind, because where I've seen like little mini videos for the Vive and for Oculus, I don't know that I've seen anything for the PlayStation VR beyond like the Until Dawn roller coaster ride thing and like the luge, like San Francisco luge or whatever it was, of the guy going down the street on his back.
Yeah, that's all part of PlayStation. Well, the Luge one and some of the other ones are on like PlayStation VR Worlds, which is more like it's just like a proof of concept, like demo thing that you're gonna put on when you have friends over if you have it.
Yeah.
There are games coming for it though.
Well, they said there was going to be about 50 games before the holiday.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So
yeah, but how many of those are going to be tech demos?
I don't know.
VR World. So
How do you feel about it, my friends? Luciano.
Me, I'm kind of just holding out because I want to see, once it comes out, what it pans out. Like Steve said, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
And, the last time like this kind of thing, I feel it's similar to like with Kinect and PlayStation Move and Wii, where it's kind of caught on big but then died off. So I want to see if it has legs.
Yeah, that's total. I mean, for the price, totally understandable. It's it's not a cheap thing to jump into.
You know what I regret is that I had at one point at least 2 setups for the Move controllers. I had the regular little analog dealy and then the light up stick, and I had 2 sets. That thing never went anywhere. I always wanted to. One of their demo things was like a Harry Potter-ish kind of game where you were a little wizard.
Storybook.
And you were going to be casting spells and waving your wand. And I'm like, I want to be Harry Potter. I want to play that thing. And then it didn't come out for like a good year and a half almost, and it was garbage. And like nobody bought it, nobody played it. It was nothing. They kind of just like snuck it out there and being like,
because it was bad.
Yeah, like, hey, $40 if you want to use, blow off the dust of the Move if you still got one. And I brought mine in and I traded them in, and now they're telling me that I'm going to need them for the VR.
You don't need them. It's a thing that you can have, but you can use the DualShock for. Some experiences you probably could use them for.
Yeah.
But you could, all the games I played on it, I've been using a DualShock.
Okay.
And don't say no when he bought that. I own 3 Wonder Books.
Wonder Books.
Oh, Wonder Book. That was it.
Yeah.
I knew it was book something.
The hell's Wonder Book?
That was the thing.
Oh,
it wasn't Storybook. It was Wonder Book.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah. So what else you playing, Luciano? Like, same question that we gave to Kelsey. Like, what do you like playing? What are you playing right now?
Right now, I was just trying to finish off the Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
I was a bit behind on that one.
Nice.
Got to about 80%, and then things got busy, so I got to finish that off.
I got Bobby Short in the corner, like meh.
I
was
was
like,
the biggest fan.
Leap over this table at him. Get out of here.
And I'm tempted to pick up Dark Souls this week, but I'm not sure if I can handle it. So,
Yeah, that's got Bobby clapping right now.
I'm going to pick up.
yeah, I've
my
chatted
copies
with Bobby
just
about it a bit on Twitter, so
Mhm.
I'm tempted.
Game is hard.
Do it, man. Dive in.
Do it.
Punish
I
yourself.
downloaded that Lords of the Fallen for free on Xbox, man. And it's tough. So
It is.
If you think Lords of the Fallen is tough, because I did too, and then I played Bloodborne. I was like, oh, this is not really comparable. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to play Dark Souls. Like I have
But
no
yeah, you
interest in
finished Bloodborne, right?
it. Yeah, ask Jackie how she's doing with that quest of hers.
Yeah, I know, Jackie.
Technically, have not quit. Actually, no, I did delete it from my PlayStation the other day, which is like another step towards
Yes, that's
quitting.
quitting.
It. Yeah,
That's quitting.
but I still own the disc, so I have not quit yet.
So, what is your favorite game of all time? If you can give that to us.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't know if I can. Maybe the first Gears of War. I was a big fan of that when that came out.
Excellent choice.
No, it's Skyrim.
Played
Skyrim.
played a ton of it. So looking forward to number 4. I'm hoping it's.
What did you think? What did you think of that trailer that just came out a couple days ago?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, no gameplay, but they know how to make their emotional trailers.
Yes, they
so-
do, which is funny because Gears of War is the opposite of that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
really.
I watched that trailer and I was like, I'm getting emotional. This is Gears of War. What's going on?
That's really weird.
Do you get
It
to-
was good.
Do you get to
It
play
was
as
really good.
multiple people this time, or
I don't
is
know.
there?
I know you play the main character is Phoenix's son, Marcus Phoenix's son,
Okay.
and that's
I hope
that
it'll
was
be
in the trailer.
4-player co-op. I'm hoping
Uh,
for.
I'm assuming that they're gonna. I
I-
mean, they brought that in for 3. I'm
Mhm.
assuming that they're gonna keep that for 4.
Are you going to jump on the beta? I think it's in 2 days.
I haven't had time to look into it, so I'd like to.
have to jump on that.
Good way to get a feel for it. It's been a while since what was
Well,
it?
Gears-
Judgment.
Judgment. I didn't play Judgment.
Yeah, I didn't play
Judgment was really good.
I heard it was good. It was just I didn't get into. I couldn't get into it for some reason, or just there was too many other things coming out at the time.
I always loved Horde mode. Was one of my favorite.
They
aspects of
introduced
game.
that, and
Yeah,
everybody copied it.
Horde was awesome.
yeah.
I kind of want to play Gears of War now.
That was old school talking comics stuff. We used to do that all the time. It was me, Bobby, and Stephanie screaming at each other. It was a lot of fun.
Dude, let me know. I'm always ready to play some Gears of War.
Nice.
Oh,
All right,
maybe-
so maybe I'll have a couple people to play
Maybe
it.
I'll catch up with you guys online when 4 comes out this fall.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like
definitely.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've been
Give,
around. You've been around since the episode 1.
Yes.
The Arctic Beat. Your Twitter handle. I can remember seeing when we were thinking about this. You're one of the first people that popped into my head because you've always interacted with us and gave us questions when we needed. I would really like to do listener questions. You always had one
Yep.
for us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so again, we're super appreciative of all that.
Definitely.
Absolutely. We have time
Thanks,
for
guys. Me too, man. Appreciate all the hard work you put in.
Awesome. Do we have time for me to ask him one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
How did you find the podcast originally, going all the way back? Oh, what, Bobby?
Well, Talking Games I found because I was a listener of Talking Comics.
Yeah, Bobby's in the corner with his hands in the air, like, "Yep, it was me."
I know that.
That
but
one I
wanna
was just
know-
lucky enough to stumble upon, and never stopped listening once I listened to the first episode. So
He's getting up. He's gonna
Awesome.
beat me up.
a big
Yeah.
hi to Bobby. I
There
know
he
he's
is.
back there somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, Luciano.
Hey,
Luciano's been a pain in our ass for a really, really long time. I can't believe you don't know that.
you wouldn't have it any other way, right?
No. He's a big Man of Steel defender, Luciano.
Oh,
Also, we're friends.
Oh, now we can
There you
can
go.
talk. Now you can be on the rest of the show. Explain yourself, sir.
He has nothing to explain. I don't mind Man of Steel.
Who do you think? All right, who do you think would be the best studio to do a Superman game? Since he had
me?
yeah. Who, like, if you could have a game developer that you like their style of games, which one do you think would apply the best to Superman?
Well, just with the success of the Arkham games, I mean, I think the easy answer is it Rocksteady?
Yeah.
Who did that?
Mm.
I mean, I think that's what most of us are hoping for. I think they could probably find a way to do it right because there's been a lot of crappy Superman games over the years.
Wasn't it a Superman 64? was
Superman 64
like
is like one of the
the bane.
worst games that's ever been created.
Right up there with ET.
Yeah, there was a crappy one on 360 too. Superman Returns
Yep.
when that movie came out. It looked like it would be good, and then it was just garbage.
That game had a really interesting idea, but they just, for his health and stuff, and like, how do you hurt an invulnerable person? And it was like, oh, the city will take damage, and if the city takes too much damage, you lose. That was interesting, but the rest of the game was terrible.
Yeah, I thought when I saw previews, I thought it'd be good, right? Big open world,
Yeah.
Superman game flying around, but they didn't deliver much.
Well, they've got flying mechanics down now. At least they've made some pretty cool games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the Disney Infinity games when you're flying around is pretty
Yeah.
exhilarating. That was one of the things I liked most about when you were first like able to play as Iron Man or Thor. That was always super cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we moving on.
I'm gonna move on.
Yes.
All right, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
seriously.
so much. Thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate your support.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, good job on the last 100. We'll see you around next week.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks so much, man.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.
That was fun,
Yes.
right?
Andrew.
That was awesome.
We have to
Okay.
get Andrew in.
Okay.
And then that's it. And
Okay.
then we can get we can get down to business.
To business.
To business and making fun of Jackie some more.
Business
No,
time.
that's just terrible.
Yeah, well, that's me. So
Do you want to come and hang out?
Yeah, come sit here for a minute.
After the listeners. I don't want to. You guys talk to your listeners, and then I'll swap in. So
Okay.
Chuck and I can talk about Dark Souls.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will gladly get up and go
Yes.
run away.
All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Andrew.
I'm loving that.
The best part's not coming.
Yeah, that's better.
So far, it's not doing the beep beep thing, so I'm worried that's not going through.
Right?
It says it's connecting, but it says that he might be away. There's a little clock. He's away.
Oh,
That's all right. I'll message him and
Okay.
see what's going on.
It's connecting.
Andrew.
Steve,
Yo.
game number 2. Do you remember we did game number 3?
Yeah.
Game number 2.
Okay. I have a feeling that game number 1. I'm gonna reverse them because I have a feeling there's gonna be a long discussion about the other
All
one.
right.
I want to tell you about a game called Ratchet and Clank.
Yes, please do, because Justin's been showing me videos.
Here's the
and,
deal. There is probably not a better way for you to spend $40 of your hard-earned money if you're a fan of platforming and silky smooth animation. This, if you've ever played any of the Ratchet and Clank games in the past, it's everything that you remember, but done with like the PS4 engine and it just being ridiculous. Like Ratchet and Clank was known for kind of its busyness and its world, that even though you were, traversing from platform to platform and smashing
Yeah.
things down and getting cool guns and stuff like that, it's all of that, but the world is now has so much more going on to it, and the kind of the looping animations for what's going on in that world are now longer. So
Right.
it's not the same car floating past you. It's not the same flying enemy doing the same loop-de-loop
Right.
trick every, 15
Justin
seconds.
compared it to me with Sunset Overdrive.
Same developer, Insomniac. Crazy weapons, cool traversal. It's got more of a Pixar shine to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when Insomniac started doing other games like Resistance, Fuse, which people hated, Sunset Overdrive. I mean, the thing is, like, they make crazy guns. And
Mhm.
so Ratchet and Clank is where they got that from. It's like that's where their DNA is.
Yeah.
And so this continues that.
I have a gun that shoots disco balls, and when the disco ball pops out, it goes up into the air, and it makes any enemy within the radius of the flashing lights, they start boogieing down, and it distracts them where you can then destroy them. So I throw in a big disco ball into the middle of a group, and then go in there with my flamethrower and just let that thing rip. And that was like the thing that I powered up. Every single node is filled in, and now they have these crazy. Like, I've been struggling with I don't remember everything about the Ratchet and Clank games. I've kind of been like experiencing flashbacks every
Right.
couple of hours. After,
Oh,
like,
I remember
oh,
this.
right. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the ship, and oh, this and oh, that. And I know that you upgrade your weapons by using them over time, but now you also collect these crystals, and there's a grid, and you move around the grid, and you collect like damage, radius, longevity, duration, stuff like that. And as you surround certain like honeycomb nodes or whatever, or spaces, you unlock secret spaces that then add more effects to your guns.
Awesome.
There's a card collecting mechanic where you run around the world and you actually open up card packs that have mystery cards inside. You can trade in duplicates for other cards to get other items and other like Omega style stuff. There's water slides to move around the world. There are hoverboards and hoverboard races now, which are awesome. And just every little thing about it, everything transitions from one thing to the next with no loading, no nothing. And it's got the movies coming out, I believe April 29th, the end of this month. The Ratchet and Clank movie is actually hitting theaters.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for it recently.
Yeah. And lots of bits and pieces of the movie are in the game. And when you transition from, CGI film to the game, there is no degradation in the quality, and you are living, breathing, moving around, jumping in this world. There are sand sharks that go into the world, and you hear little music, they pop up and they start munching on your ankles, and it's fantastic. All the guns are ridiculous, and it's hilarious. The dialogue and characters are just, the writing is so good. So anybody that was an old fan of Ratchet and Clank, you have to get this game.
It's only $40.
Yeah, I'm 6 hours into it. I can't find a single thing about it that I don't love.
Wow. It's high
That's
praise.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew says try calling him.
Sure.
All right.
So what's interesting about that Ratchet and Clank game is it's based off a movie, which is based off a game.
Yep.
So the
Yep.
2002 version is where they got the idea for the movie, and now they made the movie, and this is based on the movie, based on the game.
I'm gonna
which is
look
just
up-
crazy.
We're gonna call Andrew now, but I'm gonna actually check out when the last Ratchet and Clank game came out, because I can't remember. I feel like
Oh
it's
man,
been
I
over
was
10 years.
listening to Giant Bomb today, and they went through like the history of Ratchet and Clank, and it is deep.
Oh, I must not be there yet.
It was like 2 years ago. It was
No, I'm
after the
still,
Nexus.
I'm still in last week's Beastcast mode, talking about the Coleco fiasco. All right, we're gonna give Andrew a ring. They're all different.
Yeah.
Yo, yo, yo.
Oh, hello. It works this time.
Hello,
Yes.
Andrew. How are you?
What's up, Andrew?
I'm
Hello.
great. How you guys doing?
We're
Doing
good.
fine.
So
Is the audio okay?
yeah, you sound totally fine, man.
Okay, great.
So Andrew has been a friend of mine and for the show for a while, but Andrew has jumped in on numerous parties with me and a lot of the guys from Broken Thumbsticks, and we know Andrew pretty well. It's funny, like we'll play a game with Andrew for a couple of months, and then Andrew will go do his own thing for a couple of months playing his own games, and then we'll eventually like, hey, I'll see you guys in the division, and then all of a sudden Andrew's passing me by in levels in the division. So
Yeah.
it's been really cool, getting to know you, man, and then having you come join our parties and be part of our ridiculous group over at Broken Thumbsticks in here. And so, what you been doing? What have you been playing? I haven't seen you on the division, so what are you playing right now?
Well, I wanted to beat Dark Souls 2 before Dark Souls 3 came out. So
What
I've
is
been
with
working-
you guys?
So I've been working real hard trying to do that, but it turned out fruitless. So now I just moved on to Dark Souls 3. So I'm back on PlayStation.
Did you ever beat Bloodborne? Because when I was playing Bloodborne, it was like you, me, and Nick nightly in a room, and you and me were like screaming into the microphone, and Nick is like, I don't understand what the problem is. This is a totally easy game.
Oh yeah, he's so annoying.
Yep, I couldn't beat Father Gascion or whatever.
Oh god, that guy at the end was annoying.
The worst. Dude. The worst.
3 years.
3 years.
It's only been 3 years. I'm sitting here saying 10, and it's only been 3 years. There were a couple though that I think are a little forgettable. The All for One. There's apparently somebody asked me yesterday if there's a collection, and I told them no. There totally is.
Yeah, there's a class.
So,
So how you liking Dark Souls, Andrew?
Oh, it's great. There's a couple frame rate issues, classic console situation lately. But it's kind of all the things about Dark Souls that I like, and all the things I like about Bloodborne mixed up into one game.
Do you think that coming from Bloodborne, it's something that people who just played that could jump into?
Yeah and no. It's a little bit more hardcore. Like, I think you would hate it, Justin.
All right, good to know. Fantastic.
But it's a great game. Yeah.
So what else do you have on the docket besides Dark Souls? Like, what's the next big thing that you're looking forward to, if there is one?
I have so many games on my backlog right now. But
what tops your backlog then?
For some reason, I really want to go back and finish Dishonored. I got it when it came out, and I still haven't played it.
that game is really good, so you should before the sequel comes out.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm kind of just starting to look forward. I'm really pumped about Overwatch. I'm actually excited about Battleborn after playing the beta.
Have you been playing the beta?
I played it a couple rounds, but I'm kind of trying to just stay clear of it, just so I don't ruin it. Like, I kind of ruined Destiny with the beta for myself.
You played too much of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So Battleborn versus Overwatch, you're leaning more towards Battleborn now? Or you think you'll get both?
I'll get both.
All right. Oh, see, like that's tough. Like, we're gonna probably talk more about Battleborn in a bit, since we've been playing the beta. And I think we have a couple of different opinions about it. Like, with all the games coming out, I feel like I have to pick between those two because they're sort of similar. And for me, I'll probably lean on Overwatch. Although every time I play Battleborn, I'm like, I should just get this. This is fun.
Overwatch seems a little bit more hardcore.
Really?
Battleborn seems a little casual.
Really,
like,
I think of it. For me, I think of it in the complete opposite terms. I think because the Battleborn has that like MOBA-ish mode. I always just think of it as more serious PvP, but maybe I'm just overstating it.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Have you tried that mode yet, or did you try it?
I think I played like the incursion mode,
yeah,
that was kind of weird. And then I think I played 2 games of that, and then one of whatever the other one was called.
Meltdown.
Meltdown
has like multiple lanes that you can run through, right?
That's more MOBA-like.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. That seems more what they're aiming for. It's weird that they put incursion first down the list, because you kind of think like, man, if this is what they've been doing instead of Borderlands, I don't know about it. But after playing one game of Meltdown, it seemed great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely into it. I still want Borderlands though.
Yeah.
So good.
I want to play Ratchet and Clank. That looks really good.
There's so many games coming out.
Ratchet and Clank goes fast.
I know it goes fast.
I'm like 8 planets in already.
That's like asking me to stop playing Smite when I still have to play The Division.
You don't have to play The Division.
I kind of want to play I still want to play The Division. I'd like to go into that incursion that just came out yesterday.
It's tough when you have a game that you're like super into, and you know that other stuff is coming out, and you want to. Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
We lost Andrew.
Oh no.
We'll call him back.
Hold on, we're trying to get the call back, is what it says. Sorry, should I talk like Jackie? Trying to get the call back.
Hello. Well, that's better.
Yeah.
Internet connection problem between. What should I do?
Uh-oh. I don't know. What should I do?
All right, I'm gonna try. Nope, we're trying to get the call back.
All right, let's see.
Oh, it's struggling, but it's.
Hey.
Did we get you?
Oh, there it goes.
Okay,
That's weird.
we lost you for a sec.
Yeah, I seem to be having a lot of issues with Skype.
So I'm going to ask you the same questions that we've been asking everybody. What is your all-time favorite game?
It goes back and forth between Halo 2, Warcraft 3, and Counter-Strike, probably.
Those are all very unique video games.
They're all very good video games.
They are. They are very good ones.
Yeah. But lately I've been kind of moving away from multiplayer games in a lot of ways. So Dark Souls is probably starting to sneak up there for me.
Yeah. What's your favorite aspect about the Dark Souls series?
It seems like, I don't want to jump on the games are too easy now, but it seems like games are too guided. So there's not a lot of learning you do.
Mhm.
I appreciate the From Software games because they give you something to work towards that isn't just a number going up or a bar moving forward.
Right.
You really have to learn the games and really have to focus on them.
Yeah. You have to seek things out in the community and stuff, like looking for answers and ways to go.
Yeah, totally. And that's another aspect about it. The community is always really cool. Like, they always want to help each other out, but they're competing with each other at the same time in this weird way. It's cool.
Do you ever engage in the PvP, or are you strictly PvE player?
I never did any PvP until when I was trying to finish up Dark Souls. I got invaded a couple times and then realized, like, I'm just going to do the invading from now on because this is ridiculous.
I remember playing Bloodborne and being invaded like a couple of times near the end, and it was one of those moments where I thought I was going to throw my controller through the TV because they had a thing. I was like, I didn't understand what was happening, and I think Andrew was actually in chat with me when this was happening.
Probably. Yep.
Somebody came in my game, and I was like, "Wait, that's a person." I didn't allow this. What's going on? And then they bowed to me and went invisible. And I'm like, oh, they left. They didn't leave. They just were invisible and waited for me to walk by and then brutally attacked and murdered me. And I remember being so angry.
My favorite thing PvP was when somebody spawned in and we were going to fight, and like I'm all poised and ready to strike, and they backed up into one of those like elevator cages. And it got stuck. So they got stuck inside of the cage while I was just stabbing them with my sword while they couldn't go anywhere. And I won. It was awesome.
I hate those games.
Games are amazing.
We had that good moment, and I don't know if you were there yet. That one night I played with you and Nick playing Bloodborne, and at one point I think it was just Nick and I. Somebody invaded my game while I was teamed up with Nick, and he comes running up.
Yeah, you told me about that.
And he comes running up, and he sees two of us, and he looks at us, and then starts running away.
And no,
nope, I didn't realize there'd be two of you in here.
I think I joined you like a couple minutes after that. I remember that story.
And we wouldn't beat the Amelia.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the worst.
She was really easy with 3 people.
Yeah, she was super easy with 3 people. I was like, this game is simple. I don't understand what everyone's complaining
why is
about.
everyone complaining?
She wasn't too bad by herself.
No, there were a couple of bosses in Bloodborne that weren't that terrible. Like no, I'm not doing it. I'm not playing Dark Souls. I refuse.
Well, we're going to talk about more about Dark Souls when Andrew gets at the phone. We'll have a more in-depth, deep dive.
So Andrew, even though you're leaning more towards PvE, at least we'll know that we'll be able to team up with you in either Overwatch or Battleborn or one of those two.
Probably both.
All right, great. Well, good.
We can even chat while I play Dark Souls because I have it on PlayStation now. So.
All right, great.
Sounds awesome.
Well, Andrew, man, thanks so much for being a part of this for the last couple of years and for jumping in and making friends with everybody and always being down to play something.
Great. You guys are one of my favorite podcasts for sure.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man.
Yep. It's funny. The first question you guys answered on this podcast was for me, actually.
Hey.
Forget, do you remember what the question was?
I think I asked you what the first game that got you guys, or what game got you into gaming, or what game made you realize you were into gaming, or something along those lines.
The first one.
Man.
Nice. Coming full
I remember
circle.
someone said Tetris, but
that was Rob. I bet you it was Rob. Oh wait, no, Rob hated
No,
Tetris.
Rob hates Tetris.
I knew there was
Rob
something with
wasn't
Rob
on
and
episode
Tetris.
two.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rob
that's
hates Tetris.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, man, thanks so much.
yep. Thanks for letting me be on, guys. Have a good one.
Take
too,
care,
man.
dude.
We successfully had people call into the show.
It happened. It only took 2 mixers and
Insane amount of work. The whole light fixture over here and everything.
Yeah.
Hey, Jackie. Yeah. Switch seats with me. Oh.
I guess we talk about Dark Souls now, right?
Oh, please, yeah, go ahead. I'm just gonna stay here.
We had
and
a
stare
good
down.
transition,
Right,
right? How much
yeah.
time have you put into Dark Souls 3, Chuck? So
With this current character, about 9 hours.
9 hours already?
I've had the game for 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
So
did.
I've only put 9 hours.
Oh, okay.
I should have beaten it already.
All right. I've only put about like 2.5 hours into the game at this point. I'm playing on PC.
So you got the Ready to Crash edition?
Yeah, except it's not. I had crashed once.
Good.
I'm all good.
Very good.
It's running at a smooth 60 frames a second at
Ooh,
all
nice.
times. That's a pretty awesome feature. It's like playing a whole new game. The thing really funny, I started out playing, made my character, went out. I'm in the world doing the thing, and I'm playing it like Bloodborne, and for the first 45 minutes of the game, I forgot I had a shield. I was rolling around, I was like taking hits, and then I was like, and then it wasn't until I was playing that first boss that you get to, like the first sort of, it's not too difficult of a boss, but it's like your first little boss you fight, and I'm getting wrecked, and I'm like, wait a second, I've got a shield.
So you just stand there like waving it around like a flag. And
no,
stuff?
I just haven't. I just wasn't using that button, and then I ended up taking the boss down on the first go. After that, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe. But I've been playing it wrong for 45 minutes. But what's been cool is I've been playing the game a little bit more aggressively than I played the previous games, because I'm sort of in that Bloodborne frame of mind where it's not about always hanging back and hunkering down with the shield. It's about going after enemies, and that's led to some bad choices by me for sure. But it's also led to me playing the game, I think, a little bit better than I've played before because
you're being aggressive.
I think I'm being a little more aggressive. Like I'm being Dark Souls aggressive. I'm not being like Halo aggressive. I'm not just running in and being going all over the place. But I'm being a little more aggressive, and I'm able to take down enemies before they sort of mob me. Because what I've noticed playing the first couple of hours is that I'm getting mobbed a lot more than in previous games. I feel like there's a lot more characters on screen at once, more often than before. How are you feeling about it so far, Chuck?
This is probably I'm coming around on it that it may be my favorite Souls game, because they really kind of just take the best parts of all of them, including Bloodborne, and just jam it into one game. It's like a best of compilation of Dark Souls, and it's really great so far. I had the same issue. I by the end of Dark Souls 2, I was already playing a little bit more aggressive, but then going into Bloodborne, that game, I was constantly trying to rally, and that was a habit I needed to break right away playing Dark Souls 3 and try to get, taper it back to Dark Souls aggressive, which I finally feel like I'm at. Finally got my build down, the one I like, and yeah, I'm really enjoying my time so far with it. Like I'm hooked on it. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And the combat is a little bit faster than has been the previous games. It definitely took a little bit from Bloodborne in that way.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm moving faster than I was in the previous.
It's the
Souls
60
game.
frames. That's why.
It's that too, but it's also just like the speed of like my animation and stuff like that feels faster. It feels more like Bloodborne. Even at Bloodborne at 30 felt faster than any Dark Souls game at 30, and I'm getting that same feeling with this one. There are things that I really like about Bloodborne that, like, I love that rallying system, like that you can get back the health that you've lost thing in that game, and it's been a readjustment. I'm a bigger fan of the Estus Flask system than the Blood Vial system for sure.
Yeah, me too.
But I had to get used to that again as well, because in Bloodborne, if you had 20 Blood Vials, you could be sort of a little bit more reckless and get your health back, and then you could farm Blood Vials off of enemies
while you're going. So it's like, hey, I can always just get more.
Yeah, and this one I accidentally used an Estus Flask, and I was like, well, gotta go back to the bonfire because I'm not gonna go fight whatever horror is coming up now with 2 Estus Flasks. I better, I gotta have my 4 or whatever.
Because that
That's
third
what I
one
didn't
could really
like.
mean the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't like about Dark Souls 2. Was I could never get my head around that.
It's just a healing item that refills when you rest at the bonfire.
Yeah, I know. But I would always be just like boom, 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 done.
Yeah,
No more left.
can't do that.
I know.
You got to be very cautious about it. But I've been really, really enjoying my time with it so far. I had forgotten, every time I go into one of these games, I kind of forget, like, you start in that first area and it kind of funnels you very directly towards where you need to go first. But then once you're in sort of the first, that kind of like that first big area, it's not like that anymore. You have a couple paths you can walk down. You have to decide, am I going the right way? And it immediately, about 30, 40 minutes in, it starts sending like pretty big stuff at you. Like I had like the dragon moment at the very beginning.
There's always a dragon.
There's always a dragon moment. I'm walking up this area and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of enemies here. And I was like, this is going to be a little challenging. All right, get my shield out ready to go. And I'm walking up this staircase and there's like, a note on the ground. I read it. It goes, try rolling. And I was like, is there going to be like a guy sitting right at the top of the stairs where I'm going to roll past? And as soon as I get 2 steps up, I hear a roar and this dragon comes flying in and just starts shooting fire out. But the best thing about the Souls games, right, is anything that happened to you can happen to the enemies. So all the enemies in the area are just dead immediately.
And you get all
So
the
as
souls.
long as you avoid the dragon, you're okay.
Yeah.
I love those notes. That's got to be my favorite part of that game because some of them are so hysterically obtuse.
My favorite part of Bloodborne was putting down the note in a place where, like, every time you put down a note and somebody liked it, you would get full health back. And so I would try putting them down. Like, there's notes right here. I'm gonna go in like behind them so the person hits mine first. So that way, when I'm battling a boss, like every now and again, like it must have happened like a handful of times, I'd all of a sudden get full health, and I'd be like, "Thank you."
Yeah. And I love the ones, I love the ones that are like, try rolling, and it just means you die. You roll off a cliff.
Hidden passage this way. I'm like, I don't know.
That's such a dick move.
Is there one here?
I've fallen for that so many times just because you never know.
And there's this cool thing that in this, especially in this first area, I don't know how it goes on, but like there are sort of like these idols that these sort of NPCs are worshiping, but they're not aggressive towards you. Like when aggression starts happening, they cower away. But there are these enemies that like scream out and like they have a lantern, and then certain of the non-violent enemies will become violent and come at you. So it's like, do I just kill all of the non-violent enemies just in case because they won't fight back, or what should I do? And so I'm used to these little mobs. It happens a bunch of times, and there's these cool things where there's like dead dragons all over the place that they're worshiping, which is a really kind of cool like look. And so I'm walking around, and I walk out of this roof, and there's a bunch of these guys standing around an idol. I'm like, okay, probably one of the two of these guys is probably a bad guy. They're probably a bad guy. I'm just gonna be kind of like cautious about this. And I see a note that says try ambush. And I'm like, why is it telling me to ambush? Like, there's nobody difficult in this area. So I go behind one of the guys and I do a backstab and I get the cool sound and I get him down. And then all of a sudden, the dude in the middle, his head explodes and he has giant, like, oozing tentacle head. And it's not even like little tentacles. It's like the first boss you fight. It's like the size of a house. And all of a sudden, it's just destroying me. And it's one of those moments where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Now I'm dead. But it's a beautiful thing in those games where you just start laughing. And it's just like, this is why I play these games, because
what the hell was that?
Yeah, exactly. What the hell was that? Next time I can strategy for it. But I love those moments where you're just like, I have no idea what's happening. And I love those moments too, where you've gone through an area, you have very little health, you're out of your Estus flasks, and all you want is for there to be a bonfire somewhere, and you see that note that's like bonfire ahead, and that just endorphin rush that goes through your body. You're like, oh God, I just hope it's not a lie. And as soon as I see that note, I always put the shield up because I'm just terrified that bonfire ahead means really dangerous enemy
right here.
Yeah, right here. But it's just a great feeling when you go to the bonfire and you light it and you get to just rest at it. Yeah, exactly. It's just a great, it's that push and pull of those games where I'm sure in a couple of days I'm going to have a Bloodstarved Beast, moment where I'm just despondent and like, I can't do this, and what am I going to do? My life is pointless. And then
those are the texts that I was getting from him with the Bloodstarved Beast.
Yeah,
I just can't do this.
Yeah.
It's too hard. He's unfair.
Yeah, everyone was giving me these strategies like throw these blood cocktails in the corner and they'll run to the corner and let's do this thing. Yeah. And I'm trying that, and like I just never long enough for it to happen.
Right. I remember that same piece of advice. Throw it into this little alcove. Yeah. He'll go in. He'll get stuck. You can destroy him. And I was like, I can't stand still long enough to see the alcove. Like I'm rolling and rolling around the screen trying to spot the alcove as I go past. Just horrible.
But it's a beautiful looking game too. I mean,
I just got to a section. And I literally just was like, my jaw dropped. I stopped and I was like, "Wow,
oh cool!"
I hear there's parts like that in that game.
Yeah, it's by far the prettiest Souls game I've played so far.
That's awesome.
The only complaint I really have about it is that it's very straightforward. Like you don't have those interconnecting paths, which Dark Souls 2 didn't have. But Dark Souls 2 kind of felt like a wide berthing area, and this one it kind of feels like, all right, you kind of splinter off and you just keep going straight down that way. And this one, you just keep going straight down that way. And that's really it. So it's a little disappointing that way, but the areas are still interesting. I'm glad I've already finished the two areas that I hate most in all Souls games, which are the Poison Swamp and the Catacombs.
Yeah.
Which they nicely put one after the other.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm done. Yes. I don't have to deal with those again.
I do hear that later in the game it opens up more. There's more open areas.
Well, that's good.
But yeah. I mean, I think that they've never quite hit what they did in Dark Souls 1. you
Yeah,
know,
that was just amazing. I don't ever see them being able to do something like that again.
yeah.
Bloodborne, they tried, they got close with some of the areas, but yeah, that game, I just blew my mind on how they did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bloodborne, they got closest, but there's moments in Dark Souls 1 where you're like, I can't believe that this path just led me back to this point.
That was my favorite part of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
By far.
Mm.
Was just those realization moments like, oh my God, I just made a huge circle and didn't realize I was doing it.
Mhm.
That was really cool.
Yeah, those are really cool game design moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have some weird questions to answer. We could do that.
Do you have them?
No, but you do.
Sure, Jackie.
See, that's why I said beforehand. Can you host? Can you host? Can you host like 15,000?
No, because you're the
times?
host. That's
You're the
how it
host.
goes.
Oh. Well, Justin has the questions for us.
Yes, we have a lot of mentions now, so I'm trying to get to the questions.
Well, we had some questions for each other too, right?
yes, we do. Actually, let's start with those.
Yeah. So the first one was, what have been your 2 favorite games since we started doing the show? Right?
Yes.
2. A very arbitrary 2.
Well, the thing is, I could go 3, and I have 3 very easily. So 2 means I have to cut one of them off
Steve
the list.
earlier was like 5. I got 5. How am I going to do 2? I got 5.
I could do 2. That'd be pretty easy.
We don't have all the time in the world, Jackie.
All right,
5 is a
sure.
lot.
It is. Justin, you want to do your 2 first?
Yes. Smite, Fallout 4.
Well, that was quick and easy.
Yes.
And Fallout 4 is very recent. There was nothing further back.
No, Fallout 4 is going to end up in like my top 10 for sure of all time, possibly top 5.
I did laugh again at the agree to disagree with Bobby with the, oh, look, it's a grey house. Oh, but it's just past that grey house. And the grey house on the left is pointing at the grey house.
So in the same thing in Skyrim is like, oh, look, there's a cave. And then there's another cave.
But there's
And a
beautiful
pretty
mountains.
woods and
beautiful
waterfalls.
mountains.
And,
Yes.
and
Beautiful is
trees.
subjective though.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yes.
not in that case. What about your beautiful house, though? What about Transistor?
Oh yeah, Transistor.
Their beautiful house.
I loved Transistor, and it was a surefire lock for Game of the Year.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But
You didn't want to buy that house ultimately.
Yeah.
You found rot in the basement.
Ultimately, you'd rather get the broken down house that has radioactive bugs in it.
yeah. So I took Destiny off the lists. I started this podcast playing Smite a lot, and 100 episodes later, I'm completely like reinvested into Smite. So in the course of this entire podcast, between PC and PS4, I've put in well over 100 hours into Smite, and it keeps getting better. And I find that every time I get a little bit better at the game, no matter what Bobby says, the hell with you.
Confuses me every time.
Bobby North. Yeah.
Confuses me every time.
Sorry, it's weird. It's like you should be the only person in the world named Bobby. It's such a unique name.
Person on this show that you're talking to.
Yes.
I find like, just getting better in the smallest ways pays off so fantastically in that game that I really enjoy it. And Fallout, I'm 60 something hours into it now, maybe like 15 to 20% done with the game. I'm going to put not Jackie-esque hours into Skyrim, but I could see myself topping 200 hours in this game without really even breaking a sweat. Everyone knows how much I love Destiny, but taking Destiny off the list, and even Transistor in a way, since I fought for it so hard, like taking those 2 games off the list and putting Fallout and Smite on, they're fantastic video games.
Cool. Well, it's interesting little segue. I did not take Destiny off my list.
I'm
Destiny is-
shocked. I'm so
Yeah.
This is my shocked face, Jackie.
I know. Well, Destiny for me was like a whole new thing. It was the
It was
first.
a whole new world.
It was a whole new world. I'm not gonna start singing though.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Point of view.
No, stop.
Anyway. Oh God. This
Oh,
is just
where to
hard.
go?
Oh my God, you
Say
too.
we're only dreaming.
A whole new world.
Bobby said he was going to hit you if you peeked on the mic.
He said if I started peaked on.
Oh,
the
that's true.
All right. Anyway, back to Destiny. Destiny was the first first-person shooter I really got into. It was the first time I played online. The funny story of with Justin, the first time I'd ever used my headphones. I put my headphones on. And I'm sitting there and I'm like,
I forgot about this.
Yes, and I hear a voice go, "I can't hear you," and it scared the shit out of me.
What did you say? It's like, it's weird that you're talking in like you're not here. It's like,
Yeah.
welcome to like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Well, there's time that we were playing and she was talking. I wasn't on the mic, but she was on her mic and she was talking to Jay.
Oh yeah,
And I
mean,
texted Jay and I was like, I answered the question that Jackie asked Jay.
it's because I had my PlayStation camera microphone turned on, so
Yeah.
I thought I'd hung up, and I think me and Jay were like, he was like, "What are you doing for dinner?" I'm like, "I don't know. What
Yeah.
are you doing for dinner?"
Yeah. And all of a sudden I hear, oh, Bobby can hear us.
It was very funny. So, so Destiny like introduced me to the whole online gaming thing and I have like a whole load of friends based around playing Destiny.
It's true.
So Destiny is my number one game that Phil Stein playing this podcast.
Does anybody want to guess number 2?
Yeah. have
The
a guess.
Witcher.
Oh. You really forgot
I
about
thought it
The
was
Witcher?
going to be
It's
Rayman.
not the Witcher.
I thought it was
Oh,
going to be
Rayman.
Rayman.
It's not
Yeah.
Rayman.
What is it?
You're gonna be like, what when I say
Yeah.
it? It's Child of Light.
What? That's not that surprising.
No, that's not that surprising.
Because I really love that game, as everyone knows. I love that game, but also it was kind of a first for me. It was like an indie game. It wasn't one that I went and picked up in the store. It wasn't like Assassin's Creed or Zelda, which is the only thing I ever used to play. It was like something new and something fun and something unique to me. So I always have great memories of playing that game. So that's my 2. Bobby.
Me?
Yeah,
Let me go.
yeah,
Big surprise. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
of course.
It's definitely one of them.
I love how much you love that game.
Yeah, I sunk 70 hours into that game. That's not something I usually do
Yeah, for
No.
you, that's
in
a lot.
anything.
Yeah.
Skyrim I put 100 hours into. So, I mean, that's like, but that happens very, 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 very rarely.
Yeah.
Super.
You're normally happy with like 20, 30 hours
That's
of
like,
good, solid storytelling.
Yeah, yeah. Or like, even if I play a game that's not story, like I'll play 20 or 30 hours. And even if it's a game that's just about gameplay and I don't beat it, I'm
Ooh.
totally okay with it. I'm like, okay, I played 20, 30 hours. I feel good about this. I feel like I got a good experience. 30 hours is a lot of time, so
exactly. Yeah.
I feel good about it, and it's even, and I think it's just like an internal thing for me because sometimes I don't even realize it. Like I'll be like, okay, I'm done with this game. And I'll look and it'll be like 25 hours, 30 hours,
Right.
Right.
Your internal clock ends.
Yeah, it happened with Destiny for me. It was like, I was like around 30 hours. I was like, I think I'm done, and it just kind of happened. I wasn't even
Yeah.
thinking about it. It just came to me. And the second one was really hard for me to pick because there was a lot of ins and outs, and I want to pick something that I actually like talked about on the show, not something I just played in the 2 years you guys have been doing this, and I've been on 20 episodes or whatever.
Right.
So for me, I think number 2 would actually be the Swapper. I think that would be my second.
Oh, okay, that's a cool one. And actually,
Ooh.
that is very you as
Yeah.
well.
I love that game.
Yeah.
If I was gonna pick one, just I played over the 2 years, it would be The Witness. That would be the other one for me, definitely, because that game consumed my life for like most of January, and I absolutely love that game. But things I talked about on the show, the Swapper, I just love the art style. I love the puzzle mechanics. I love what story is there. It was the fact that there was such a big moment at the end of that game. I was completely took me by surprise. And when I think about games that I've loved over the last couple of years, that is very, very high on the list for me.
Cool. That's awesome. That's a good 2 picks. I think very indicative of you as well. That's very,
Yes.
very you.
Little Metal Gear, a little puzzle. That's good.
Exactly. Steve.
So my number one game that I've played since starting the podcast is actually a remaster, and that is The Last of Us
Very good
remastered.
choice.
I had missed the boat on that
Kelsey
game.
brought it up earlier. So
Yeah.
It's,
I bought it when it came out. I played it for maybe 2 hours, not even, and then I got distracted like I normally do, and I never went back to it. And for years and years and years, everybody's like, "Oh, you didn't play it," oh, blah, blah. And I'm like, "It's fine, it's fine. Don't worry. I don't need it in my life right now. I can always go back and play it if I want to." And then the remaster came out, and I'm like, "Okay, if I'm gonna play it, this is gonna be the time." And oh my god, that game still sends shivers down my spine. I love just damn near everything about it. I love how emotional it is. I love the characters. I love the story. The DLC crippled me emotionally.
Justin too, I think, right?
Yeah.
That DLC really got you.
Yeah, I really loved it.
Yeah,
There's parts of that DLC that it's some fantastic storytelling.
yeah. The photo booth moment in particular is really great. Having read, it's one of the only games that I actually followed the lore outside of the video game. That I read the American Dreams comic book tie-in that was really good. Faith Aaron Hicks, and it had been so long since I had become so invested in video game characters, and it had that level of like cinematicness to it that just grab me, especially those first 20 minutes. Those first 20 minutes are rough. You know, like you're sitting there and you're saying, not to spoil the first 20 minutes of a game from wherever ago, but I mean, you hear the gun go off and you're like, all right, well, either they missed or like there's somebody else in the background, or maybe it's an infected and blah, blah, blah. And it's not. And then along comes this other girl and you have this complex father-daughter relationship. And like even the ending to that game, I won't spoil that, but like the reality of what you're doing, the choices that had to be made and why they were made. And it's just such a punch to the face. And I can't remember a game that I've played in even the last like 10 or 15 years that affected me the way that one did.
Cool.
And the other one that I chose, and this was really hard to do. I had a list of 5, and I can't believe that I wound up with this one as my second pick, but I'm just going to go for it, is actually Rogue Legacy.
Oh, God.
Oh, sweet. That's an awesome game.
Great
I
game.
loved that game. I spent hours and hours on that game.
I mean, I've played
Yeah.
that
Me too.
game on PC. I've played that game on PS4. I have it for my Vita. And I mean, I bring it with me wherever I go. And it's, you know, one of my favorite games of all time is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
And it had been forever. Ori and the Blind Forest came close, but Rogue Legacy had that Castlevania style game, but it was also
The music was amazing for
Yeah.
one thing.
like it's done its job where it simplified kind of the graphics and the layout of the castle and the style of gameplay. It was very jump and hack, but the difficulty of it and the random generation and the different like the ancestor
The status effects on everything
Yeah.
was hysterical.
status effects were fun.
Yeah.
Dying and coming back as your heir and trying to, you know, exact revenge and you know, get to the boss in your honor. And then all the extra asides, how hard those bosses were, all the little things.
Yeah.
Justin's
ridiculous. with
going
this
at it to
game.
platinum that thing.
Yeah.
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 I loved that game.
I know you did.
And
I think about it quite often.
yeah, that
And I hope
was
they never make a sequel, so I don't ever have to do that again.
that was a game where like, every single time that I died and like that the screen comes in, everything gets dark, just hit it right over again. Do 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 do. And I was so ready, even though I was all the way back at the beginning. I didn't care. I wanted to
Right.
just go. And
And the crazy things where you'd go into one level and you're like a giant.
Yeah.
You know, your ancestor happened to have like gigantism or whatever
Yeah.
that status effect was. And you'd go through the level and there'd be a little bit that you couldn't fit through because
Yeah.
you had to be a dwarf ancestor.
Mhm.
So then you have to choose, like, do you want to redo that? Like
Yeah.
there was a little guy outside, right, that you could pay and it would keep it exactly the same the
Yeah,
next time
right.
you went in. That kind of thing. Like it added an extra level to trying to figure out whether you wanted to rerun this thing again.
yeah, like I was trying to think of games. I'm not a person that can watch people play video games. I get very antsy if they're not moving the camera the way that I normally move the camera, if they're constantly looking at the floor when they're doing things that I want to play games. Rogue Legacy is the kind of game that if it's on in a room, you're gonna have to give me the controller and you're gonna have to do it real fast because I'm gonna want to play that game. And it's just it's so good. I want to play it right now.
Mhm.
I'll see you guys later. It's
I
been
was gonna
fun.
say, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it when you know a game's good is when you sit there and you're like, I could really actually just walk over and like turn the PlayStation on and play it right now.
I'll tell you one thing though, for my second choice, and I am deadly serious when I say this. I know it's only been a day or two, but Ratchet and Clank seriously came damn close. It's that good.
Wow. That's awesome.
So I'll have more to talk about that in 2 weeks
Mhm.
after I beat it. But man,
Cool.
perfection.
I really love Rogue Legacy. I played it for about 20 hours.
Such a good game.
And I was done.
I remember sending you screenshots.
Yeah.
Like the further and further I got into it, the more money I got. You said something like you're diseased or
Yeah.
like, you're
Well, I remember
crazy.
the day you were like, I'm going for the platinum. And I was like, Justin, there are some,
Yeah.
there's like, one of them is like, what was the one of them beat the game only dying twice or something?
No, it was 10. You had
10
10
times.
lives.
But still, I died 10 times in the first 2 hours that I played the game.
Exactly.
You know?
That was a tough one.
Yeah, because also when you get to that 10th time, I couldn't take the anxiety of knowing that
Yeah.
I couldn't die.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I lost count on how many I had,
right.
and I thought I missed it, and I think I finished with like 8 or 9.
Yeah,
So I was like, I was
would've-
bumping up against the wall.
Mm.
Exactly. I would have just died at that point. Oh, terrible. But there's some good games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the best apparently.
Very good games.
Uh-huh. What was the other question?
The other question I was thinking about for us were like, what was some of our favorite moments from the show, and like, what do we look forward to in the next like 100 episodes?
Oh, I have a good one.
Oh, please tell
A
me.
good thing that happened during the course of the show. Baby Finn, our first talking games baby.
Yes,
Born on the show.
on the show. It's
Absolutely,
weird.
absolutely, it
Angela's
was very
real
weird.
mad when I brought her here.
Yeah, she wasn't too happy, but you know.
How are you feeling?
Do you have time to turn your DS on right now?
What do you think about the gameplay loop in the order?
And I
Yeah.
start answering. Yeah, I mean,
So that's my
I
one, Baby Finn.
remember telling you and Rob, Steve wasn't on that show.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh, surprise, I'm having a kid, and then me spoiling the name for you with like 3 weeks to go.
Yes, he wouldn't tell me what the name was for months and months, and would not tell me. And he's like, "Oh, we bought this really awesome thing today," and he takes me in the kitchen and shows me this really cool decoration for the baby's wall that spelled out Finn.
At that point, I just forgotten who knew about it and who didn't.
Exactly. And also, my first reaction was, "That's what my fish is called." True
Yes.
story. My
Jorah
fish.
Jorah also remembers your fish
Yes,
name Finn all the
whenever-
time.
Whenever Jorah comes around here, it's like, "I'm gonna feed Finn." Jackie has a fin too. So yes, both his baby brother and my fish share a name.
Equally as wholesome, Jackie's boob story, of course.
That's great.
It's
Which
at
one?
the top.
Which, yeah,
the
which
big
one?
one. The big one.
The one.
The
The
bad
great
one.
one.
The
Yeah.
famous
really
one that
bad
you've told on 7 podcasts at this point, but you're so embarrassed by.
So did you hear about my boob story? I can't tell you. Hang on,
It
sit
gets to
down.
that point
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I guess it's less painful the more times I tell it. You see, just get it out there.
I thought the game of the year this year was a pretty great podcast.
Yes,
That's
it
right.
was a good podcast.
It
There was some sniping going on.
Yes,
Some snark.
made extra great because it made Justin really angry. So that's always a plus.
You guys are
It's true.
out of your mind.
was
I love both of the Game of the Year podcasts, especially sitting, at home listening to it, and I'm just like, ooh.
Oh yeah. There was actually it was the first time, as much as we mess around and we argue and we like argue about stuff, that was the first time this year that it was like genuinely people were getting pissy.
I was getting seriously annoyed when you
Yeah.
guys were like, "You're voted out." I was like, "I'm going to quit this show right now."
He was getting so angry. I couldn't believe it. But it was kind of funny because
It
his
was.
points made absolutely no sense and everybody else could see that. But he just would not acknowledge that he made no sense.
We also ran this issue too, where there was like a weird nexus of like the amount of people who had played the games that were up for that final spot. It was like the people who didn't play the games or didn't care for the games really were apathetic about
Right.
it, and the people who were into them were really into them.
I think there was also like, we look at it almost like a gray area, but to me it was very black and white. There was Justin who was wrong and everybody else who was right.
And I was sitting at home yelling for Justin. I'm like, yes, he's right.
Thank you.
All right, so
Thank
you
you very
had
much.
one other person in the world that agreed with
Yeah.
you.
No,
but now
Hey,
I'm on the
go
show.
you.
I was playing good with that. I totally been okay with Justin's game of the year pick, but the tenor of the room was not going that way.
Exactly. He's just got to know when he's beaten.
I just gave up.
After
Yeah.
2 years, he still doesn't know when he's
Better
beaten.
than last time. You got your game at number 2.
That's true.
Last time I think Transistor was a far 5.
People still like Joe State, who also wrote us a really, really nice email, and who couldn't make it on tonight. He like a couple of months ago, he tweeted at me. He was like, he was a Transistor figure. He's like, "You should get this for the house." And I was like, that is my lasting legacy on the show. Is
That's
the
it.
house,
The house
thing.
story. The house story was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
For anyone that is that hasn't listened to our whole backlog, it was Game of the Year 2014.
14. Yeah.
2014. Justin tells the most amazing analogy I've ever heard about how Transistor is clearly the game of the year because it's the best house you can buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It lives in a nice
Fantastic.
neighborhood, good school system, taxes aren't that
Exactly.
bad. It's got pillars and
I
everything.
definitely
Yeah.
recommend go back if you haven't listened. Go back and listen to that Game of the Year.
It's the
show.
awards show. So
It's the
everyone knows.
awards
Yeah,
show.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
the awards
so-
show.
Have a look on the backlog there, and
What won Game
it's
of the Year that
fantastic.
year?
Shadow of Mordor.
Oh,
Yes,
that's right.
it was
That was a good
because
game.
Shadow of Mordor won absolutely none of our individual awards, but all of us said Game of the
That's
Year.
because we screwed up the way that we did the show that year because none of us played Shadow of Mordor. Like in the
I
2
did.
weeks.
In between when we did the nominations and when we did the awards, everybody had
Oh.
basically played it.
Yeah.
But before that, I was the only one who had played it
Right.
to completion before we did the actual nomination show. So it ended up not being nominated for a lot of stuff, but I fought very, very hard for it to end up
Yeah.
being on the Game of the Year list because I knew that when people played it, they would be into
Those
it.
are my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Is the end of the year awards.
Yeah.
Mostly because the first year Jackie prepared for it. Not at all.
No, not
at all. And you nominated the dead baby in the sink.
Oh yeah, come on, that was like the best nomination ever.
Best new character of the year.
Dead baby in the
Yes.
sink in PT.
Dead baby in the sink. Come
that's-
on now.
That's when I looked and I was like, this is the life I've chosen.
Yep.
Absolutely.
This is, I finally got on a podcast.
Hey, I thought that was a great nomination.
And you cannot claim.
Oh yeah, the Rayman
The
Award.
Rayman Award.
I'd like to
Yes.
nominate FIFA 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Black Flag. I said that was the year before, and then Rayman was the year before.
So
Yeah.
I like how I say like did not prepare for the podcast at all, and then you're like, no, I did. Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I so
Yeah.
did. Also, but to be fair, that is not the first time you realise there might be a problem
Mm-hmm.
because I distinctly remember the first like 6 months we would do the podcast. I would text Justin before and say, "What are my opinions on this?"
And I never gave you your opinions. I gave you things to look at.
He
to
would send
find
me
your own
articles.
opinions.
Yeah, he would send me. I'm like, what am I supposed to say about this? What am I supposed to think about this? I was just like, I'm busy. Just tell me.
You're busy.
Yeah, I know.
Jackie and I started talking all the time because she would ask me those questions like before every show.
Yeah.
And then eventually spread out to like other things like, hey, I'm looking for headphones. And I remember one of
Yeah,
the
that
times
was
I was
funny.
really sick. Like I had like
I was-
100 and
yeah.
something fever. And I was like laid up for a while.
Yeah.
And you texted me and were like, I need headphones. I'm like, I'm not feeling well. You're like, quickly, I need headphones.
I think my exact words were, I have a birthday gift certificate. I want to buy that. I want to buy headphones. Which ones am I supposed to buy? And so, yeah, he was like lying on the couch with a fever and sent me a link. And I was like,
Yeah.
click, buy.
I remember the day you told me about that, and I was like, you know that I would never ever help you in this situation, right? She goes, yes, that's why I didn't text you.
Exactly. We're going to ask him.
Say,
am
figure it
I?
out yourself.
Yeah. Whereas Justin sent me a link.
Yeah, yeah.
that I could
Well, I
just
would help
click
you with the
on.
headphone thing. I would not have helped you with the opinions thing.
No.
No.
No,
He's
I
been
helped.
podcasting with me way
Yeah.
too long for me to
I've
get
been
away with that
podcasting with you
shit.
for way
Yeah,
too
but at
long
that point,
now.
you didn't know.
Exactly.
No, I knew when she was like, when we were doing the E3 show.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she's like, I sent that thing like, hey, we should all watch this. And
Mhm.
everyone was like, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
sure, no problem. And then Jackie's like, I didn't watch any of it. And it was
Nah.
just that Rob couldn't come on that night. And it was just me, Jackie, and Steve.
Yeah.
And Steve had watched. And I was like, you know, that ended up being one of our longer shows.
I
think it
came
was
on
like
one of those
2
E3
hou-
ones.
You came on the second one.
Yeah, the second one.
The
I got
first
second
one, it was 2 hours and 40 minutes. And that was like, I think I talked for like 2:20 on that show. Because I had like all these notes and I was like, Jackie, watch all these videos. And so I got here. She's like, I didn't watch any of them.
Yeah.
Typical.
I know. I just like to show up and be like, ta-da.
All right, Chuck. So I you know,
That's it.
you're a veteran of the show. 5 episodes, it feels like.
Yeah.
So you've
long
been
time.
you've been listening to this since episode 1.
I have.
So
I'm sorry.
What stands out? Like,
Me too.
tell me something. Like, you know, what stands out to you from coming on as somebody who listens to them being part of this? A cast member, as Jackie would absolutely hates when I say that.
Well, one thing, and I'm very happy that it's come into fruition. That from listening to the show, I used to love it when Steve would break out in song, and I would start singing while listening to the show,
I should have never brought you on.
No. No.
and so it's come
It's come
full circle.
Now you get to sing
I get
on
to
the mic.
sing with Steve
Yeah.
on the podcast. I'm very excited about that.
Mm.
So I've got a Skype request from Kirby Babe Jenny. Do you
I don't know who that is.
you want to pipe her into the
No, it's okay.
No?
I think we're okay. I
no?
think we're good. Chuck's given his breakdown of his listening time.
Yeah, yeah.
So you wanted to sing with me, huh?
Oh yeah, I always enjoyed you when you break out a couple notes, and I'd be like, yeah, I'd do it right along with you while driving my car.
See? See, somebody likes my shtick.
I was always down for it.
Awesome. Just wait till we read the email. Butter me up real nice.
Oh, I already said that Joe wrote in. I didn't say we could read it.
I read it, Joe. So I've got Chris over here. Do we
Bring in
wanna
Chris.
Bring Chris. All right.
Nintendad.
I know.
So Chris is a good
I don't want to hear you right now.
friend of the show.
Justin's cursing, so we're beeping it out.
Oh, his icon is so cool. It's like the puppy dog from
Duck
Duck
Hunt.
Hunt.
It would help.
The person whom you're trying to reach
Good
is
job,
currently
Chris.
unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
Pick up.
Hey, Chris. This is the Talking Games podcast, man. What are you doing, man? Leaving us hanging, man. Pick up the phone. Okay, we'll call you back.
So Chris helps run our Twitter account, and oversight on my part was that not asking Chris if he wanted to come on the show. So he just messaged us and said, "How do I get on this thing?" I was like, "All right, well, hang on." Chuck, while we wait for Chris, what was something else like that stood out to you, in the last couple of years?
Oh man.
Does Jackie's absolute nonchalant attitude about everything come across as a listener?
Oh, the banter between you two, I always loved. Great stuff.
Good job, Jack.
Good. Oh yeah.
Just
Because I could just see you pulling your hairs out while fighting with her.
Yeah.
Like in my mind.
That's
and I'm
why-
just like, yes, this is wonderful. I love it.
Yes, Jackie, that's where all my gray has come from in the last few years.
Not from his two kids.
No, it's from Jackie.
I gotta say,
I had a full head of hair when I met Jackie.
Oh, here we go. Hello.
Hello,
Chris. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Hey, Chris.
We're doing good, man. We're doing
Good to hear.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good. All right. I won't bring private matters into it. I follow you online. I know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good.
some stuff's going on.
Good. I'm glad. So what's up, man? Thank you so much for calling in. What have you got for us?
I have a question. I want to know which oh geez, my son's walking into the room as I'm talking to you.
Just kick him. Just right out the door.
Yeah, just hold on one second, Flynn.
Yep. no
Yeah,
problem.
so the question I had is I'm a big fan of classic video games and Nintendo games, and one of my favorite games was Battletoads. And then Phil Spencer wore the Battletoads shirt, and I want to know how long do we have to wait till they make a new Battletoads?
I think a long time.
Yeah.
I think they, since they have that license and they've been using them in other things like in Shovel Knight,
Killer Instinct.
and Killer Instincts. I'm sure they'll eventually do something with those characters. But as far as like a brand new Battletoads game, it could be a while. Although seeing a Battletoads like Castle Crashers like type game would be
That's
great.
the thing. What would a new Battletoads game even be?
It would have to
at
be like
this
Castle
point?
Crashers,
Mm.
something like that. Then you have to
Or
ride around
like
on those.
the Battletoad levels from Shovel Knight.
Yeah, I mean that was a great implementation of those characters. So I'd be fine with that. But I still think we have to wait a while. I think we'll have to wait even longer to see whatever. Oh, what's his name?
Crash
The
Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot will never happen.
It'll never happen. Although executives like wearing T-shirts during conferences all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, he might end up in
Daddy,
Skylanders.
I'm playing the game what you were playing.
I have my son sounds just like
Mhm.
that, so do not worry about it.
Yeah.
We're playing when we were like.
Yeah, it's time for bed, buddy. But yeah, the Battletoads. I'm really looking forward to that, and I guess that's about all I have to ask.
Do you have a favorite Battletoad?
Do I have a favorite Battletoad?
Is there one that you like? Rash.
I guess, yeah, because I mean the other two, it's like Pimple and Zitz.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are those
Rash
really
sounds
their
cool.
names?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so
They were like Ninja Turtles ripoffs. That was like
Yeah.
the deal when they made them.
What
yeah,
about
it's like sewer sharks?
Yeah.
how do you feel? I was talking to my friend yesterday about this. What if somebody like Insomniac had gotten the rights to doing an Earthworm Jim?
Oh yeah.
They just did a new Earthworm Jim game with like the real Earthworm Jim people.
They
Did they?
did?
Apparently was not good.
Oh,
I
that's a
don't
shame.
remember this at
Well-
Turns
all.
out the original Earthworm Jim not that good either.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, you don't like Earthworm Jim?
Interesting
they're not very good.
personality. Like for the day, it was very interesting. A lot of personality, but I never like enjoyed them. Enjoyed playing them when I was a kid.
But
I
you,
like the first two levels, but I don't remember anything
Yeah, I don't remember anything after the first two levels in Earthworm
Yeah.
Jim.
with the cow.
Yeah,
He grabs himself out of his own spacesuit and whips people.
Steve, I played Earthworm Jim. I'm well aware.
Yeah, we
it's
know
so-
we got
so
it.
good.
Good style.
So good.
Yeah. But
All right,
yeah.
man.
And one more thing. I really want, I know it's not going to happen, but a Beavis and Butthead Telltale game.
Interesting.
Yep. All right, I'm with you on that. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Only if they also make a Daria game. That would be the
Yes.
I want both.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
But yes. All right. Well, congratulations on making it this far.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Chris.
And keep up the good work, and I will keep listening.
Thanks, man.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
Later.
Take it easy, man.
All right. Bye.
I don't know where Jackie went.
She's over there. She's drinking and
Oh.
tweeting. I don't know what's going on. Usual. You should come back in here now
Yeah, you should come.
because I feel like the show's going to end relatively soon. So
Yeah.
you should be on here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out because yeah.
There'll be plenty of Bobby.
Yeah, don't worry. You can hear my voice. 9 hours a
So
week.
I want to talk to our friend Chuck.
Wait.
Oh,
Wait.
Was
We
that,
had-
why,
we
is
were
that
still-
why we're gonna end this?
No. We're not going to end it with that.
Oh, I
Although we
get
could save that for next week.
I think we should say that
This
for
is
next
how much
week.
bigger
I'm,
Bobby's head
I'm a
is
little
than
low
mine.
energy right now.
I didn't get to share any my favorite moments.
Me either. So
Favorite moments?
Steve, go ahead.
Last podcast, when we found out that you swing dance.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the show.
I didn't
ass.
listen last week. He what?
You missed a
now?
good episode.
That was one of our best. Like I said, it
Is
was.
this a
it was
joke?
no.
No, I used to go swing dancing in the city.
We're on camera. Can you show us something?
Sure. Now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
I don't have my partner, so I can't do it.
Oh,
Ange leads, so I can't do it.
Ange leads.
Yeah.
Are you really surprised by that?
Really?
No, not
Okay.
at all. Actually.
I have no hips, so I can't dance at all. Ange does a really good job leading, and it makes me look like I know what I'm doing. But yeah, I used to go. I said it last on the last Talking Games. I used to go swing dancing in the city at the
Amazing.
end of every last Sunday of every month. We would go into Irving Plaza in the city when I was like 15, and we went until I was like 18, and it was a good time.
All right. My hopes for the show in the future are to video you and Ange swing dancing, so we can post that one. Right.
We should do.
I look
like
goddamn impressive. That's what I'll look like.
like a game or dare kind of game where if he loses one of the challenges, he has to swing dance in front of everyone.
Yeah, with an imaginary partner.
Yeah,
that
that
would
No,
be
no,
fun, yeah.
we'll bring Ange onto the show and we'll
It'll be
make a whole
totally
thing of
fine.
it.
Like, she really knows what she's doing.
I'll bust out the Glenn Miller. We'll get it going.
I have seen Ange dance. She is
knows-
she is very impressive.
She knows what she's doing.
Yes.
She's dancing at Bobby's wedding, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then at
Lighten
Bobby,
up
at Bobby's
And Bobby North's wedding.
and Bobby North's wedding as
Yes.
well.
Lighten up the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I just want to see you like kicking and with a big smile on your face doing
Right.
kind of like jazz hands,
Jazz
like
hands.
Charleston
Exactly.
style.
Something where he's not being grumpy. That would make a nice change.
The further I get away from you, the better it gets.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. He's always grumpy with me. Always
Wow.
grumpy.
Jackie, do give me plenty of reasons to be grumpy. Let's
See,
let's.
This is what I loved.
This
I
is
love this.
Well, why do I make you grumpy? I make you happy. I make you smile. I gave you an umbrella for your soda earlier, and you smiled straight away.
yes. You gave me an umbrella.
See?
Yes,
See?
I love you.
It's one of your favorite moments on the show, Justin.
Well, besides constantly playing my hair, I think it was in the beginning. There was shows where it was the original four of us. It was Jack, the three of us plus Rob.
Yeah.
And there were some really great shows. There were shows where before we recorded, as all podcasts do, we had some serious drama going on behind the scenes at times.
Yes.
Once Rob left, we like struggled for a while, and Bobby was great. Bobby graciously came on and helped support us for a while, and now we have Chuck, and things keep getting better. There was a time where I was very close to leaving the show just for like family responsibilities, and then once again I decided to throw all those away and keep podcasting.
Exactly.
with
I
you
managed to
guys.
convince him that kids are not that important.
Here's-
They'll still be there when you finish podcasting.
kind of what Justin's saying. One of the things I was going to say is that regardless of all of that stuff, especially within the last month or so, whenever we get in front of the microphones and go to record a show, all of that stuff gets tabled and we still have a good time. And
Yep.
we still get it done.
Yep.
And I think some of the more recent stuff are some of the better shows that we've done in the
I
entire
agree.
run.
Absolutely.
Um,
And also just off
I
mic.
agree too.
It's been to the truck.
You got a lot to live up to, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
And you feel the
Yeah.
darkness of Rob's shadow just looming over you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And also just off mic, like I'm not going to be like too gushy because I don't want to feel my black heart start cracking. Got a nice shell around that thing, but still, just getting to be friends with you guys. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I love it.
I remember coming here. I
remember one of the very
you.
first things you said to me was, "I'm a hugging kind of guy," and you gave me a hug. It's like the first time I met you.
Yes, I met you sit right here at this table. We were doing the podcast. It was Bobby, Steve. It was five of us that show, right?
Yeah.
And I was terrified to talk into the microphone. I was real nervous,
I remember.
and that went away kind of quickly. But I mean, just from an idea that was bouncing around in my head that I shared with Steve, and then that Steve shared with Bobby, and then the three of us got on a call, and it was like, is this thing actually going to happen? Are we actually going to do this podcasting thing? And I was like, oh yeah, we're going to do it.
And then some idiot was like, "You should have Jackie do it."
But just from that, like that idea, like I've made a handful of lifelong friends, which is just something like, 4 years ago, I didn't know you guys. I didn't know Nick. I didn't know Andy. I didn't, now I have a separate podcast full of people that did not know each other. And that's all because of this show.
Yep.
And so.
Yeah, the whole little Destiny crew, like there's a whole group of people that I didn't know that I'm now really good friends with that I love.
Good Lord, you and Mike are ridiculous.
I know. I've managed to find myself accidentally dating Mike, I think, just without the weird stuff.
Without, the weird touchy parts is the way you phrased it to me.
Other than that.
So I mean, for me, that like when I was thinking of looking back at the show, that was what I thought of, was like we made it 100 episodes, which in the grand scheme of things against other podcasts isn't that large. But like I think it is, like most podcasts don't get past like 30 something episodes, and we've blown right past that, and we will continue to keep on doing this.
Oh
And
yeah, we're gonna be chasing down talking comics.
I don't think we'll ever catch them. That's not how numbers work, Jackie.
We will if we take them out.
We'll start doubling up episodes every week.
Oh God.
No.
No, we're entering into a very exciting, I guess, era of the industry with the VR coming in. The lulls in game releases don't seem like they're that long anymore.
There is no lull.
Not this year. There isn't.
No, I'm saying, but when we started this, there were still lulls where it was like, okay, there's like really
A couple
nothing
of
coming
months,
out.
yeah.
I've got like 2 or 3 months where I can catch up on some games. That doesn't exist anymore.
Mhm. And the VR thing, have you seen the photo bombs of people playing VR?
Yeah.
Really funny.
Oh, that's coming for you,
funny.
don't
Oh,
worry.
I know it is. I know it
Bronwyn
is.
is ready. She is so ready to just ruin me, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Awesome. Yep, that's great.
Yeah, I really hope that I get that thing and I'm able to handle it. Because if I've been dreaming about this stuff for so long and I take the plunge, I get that thing home, and the very next day I'm like throwing up my own skeleton, I'm going to be really upset.
Yes, definitely. But
That's
it's been
probably gonna
fun,
happen,
and
yeah.
I think that's what we're leading to with the show. It's definitely like we're going to be talking about that a lot. You've both got it pre-ordered. We're definitely going to be playing.
Yeah,
Oh,
and Bobby too.
Yep. So I think it's going to be a fun thing for us to talk about, and it's a great thing to look forward to talking about in the next 100 episodes.
Oh God.
I know, right? You have to put with me so much longer. Isn't it terrible?
It's quite fine.
Right?
So-
Did you say fine?
I said fine. I
Are
said
you being
quite fine.
sarcastic?
No, Jackie, I was being sincere.
Ooh, I do not hear that very often.
I also want to put out a special thank you to Bobby.
Yes.
Yay.
He's standing right there. Just for all of his help and all of his guidance and all of his technical know-how, and for
Yes.
putting all this stuff together, and for being
Just for being my bud.
just like being the go-between and kind of keeping everybody on track.
Yes.
That we
Bobby
so
is the one that has the vision, right?
well he corrals.
Yes.
He corrals, and he gets people to talk when they're not talking, and it's really important to do that. And as much as we've made it to the 100th episode, I don't know that we would have without his help.
Yes.
So not to embarrass the shit out of you right now, but
He's okay.
Here's a good little.
good things about me.
No, this is a good little analogy. We always say this about for anyone that's seen our stupid Halloween movies that we make. We've made 4 movies in 5 years with Bobby as our director, and it's the one time in his whole life where if Bobby tells me to do something, I just do it. And the reason I just do it is because I might not be able to see the big picture, but I trust that Bobby sees the big picture.
Why can't you be like this all the time?
That doesn't go for you.
God.
Only goes for Bobby. But I trust that Bobby sees the big picture, and we all follow because we trust he
Your
sees the big
opinion is
picture.
ass.
Yeah, I'm not talking to you. Butt out. Bobby. So thank you very much.
All right, so here's something, quick thing, and then we'll start wrapping up. What is one thing? So we've done 100 episodes. What is one thing you want to see us do in the next 100 episodes? Either like as for yourself or for this podcast.
I mean, for me, I would really like to get another female voice onto the show. I think we would not only benefit from it, but I think that it's important for us to keep growing, especially if we're going to have to keep this thing running long distance in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think to inject some more personality. I mean, we all obviously we get along and we have a good rapport when we're recording and stuff like that. But I think adding new personalities and getting new perspectives is something that's going to be important to keeping the show fresh and not having it be too redundant. And in parts where we're
You're
kind
redundant, Jackie.
No.
We
I'm
should
not-
definitely find a female voice that knows what she's talking about next time, though.
Yeah.
Like that was
That's
your
an idea. Yes.
Exactly. I'd say that's your guys' first mistake, was just being like, she's female, she'll do. Bad mistake.
It was a,
Definitely my thinking.
yeah, that was definitely Bobby's. That's what he said to me.
She has boobs. She'll definitely, it'll work.
He pulled me
He's
aside.
She'll talk about them all the time. So yeah, that'll do.
Like, well, Jackie mentioned me. She might be interested. Could you imagine if I actually went back to her and said no? Do you really want to put me through that, man? Just make her a part of the show and just shut up. But no,
There you go.
I think that for growth we need to have, you know, new voices and, you know, with time. And I think it's important because, you know, fatigue does happen. Money is a thing, and we don't have companies sending us stuff all the time. That's another thing.
Feel free to, though.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
please do.
that I'm proud of is that we've kept the show. There have been a couple of weeks where we talked about, you know, one specific game a lot. But I mean, people need to remember that this is all out of pocket. Like we have a Patreon, but I mean, that just pays for hosting. That doesn't put games in our hands. It doesn't put time in our hands either. So, you know, having other people and where they can pick up the slack where we're kind of hanging out for a little bit while we're riding, you know, coasting on one game in particular that we really love. So I would like to see us expand, get bigger.
I'd like
I
to
think would be
see,
cool.
and I think overall, what people might not realize if they don't listen week to week is that it's not just this show. We are a show on a whole network. You know, Bobby's put this thing together, and Talking Comics is a thing, and there's articles and there's interviews and there's videos and there's all this stuff. And I would love to see the site expand in general. Like, I want to see the brand expand, not just our show, but like the whole
brands.
ethos. Yeah, the whole ethos, everything that we're trying to do, the community that we're trying to bring together, the viewpoints and the encouragement to share your viewpoint and knowing that it's going to be accepted regardless of what it is.
Are you sure?
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
Oh my God, he's so annoying. Shh. I'm trying to like say something vaguely intelligent. So shh.
You're right. I'll stop.
Thank you. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see the website expand. I'd like to see people really appreciate what it is that we're trying to do.
I completely agree.
Cool.
Chuck?
I would just really like to see the community grow and participate more. I really miss the viewer questions, listener questions that
we
came
should do that more.
more often at the beginning.
Yeah, we don't always have time to do that now. So we should definitely try and find some more time to read those out,
We
I
will.
think.
I think another great idea. I'm selfish, and so when I was thinking this, I was like, I want to go to E3.
That was your big thing.
That was my big thing. But
That's
you
his
know,
big thing.
but you know, I can't agree with what the three of you said more. Like, I can't think of something better to top either. You know, any of those, whether, you know, it's expanding the cast or, you know, making the website grow, and especially building the community. Like, we have a pretty rock solid community. You know, Jeff had mentioned that we should pump up the forums, and that's a place that's been missing from us lately. But like the Talking Comics forums has their own video game site, video game threads, and there's a Talking Games thread, and like we might not be able to contribute to them all the time because as Steve mentioned, like we have work, we have responsibilities, I have kids, it's not easy.
Thank
yes,
you.
Jackie, you have kids as well, and your job has gotten harder since we started this show.
I know. I try and ignore them as much as possible, but there's just some days where I can't.
But like, we'd love for that to be a place where the community resides. Where we could come in and join you guys in discussions every now and again. But I mean, we've been doing this for a couple of years now. We feel like there is enough of everybody out there who listens to the show and contributes to the show in their own way and writes in and gives us thoughts that we'd love to see you guys foster the community. I think the forums is a great place to start that.
Yeah, to interact with each other. And it's really, I'm proud of how accepting all of our community is.
Yeah.
Like it's a really wonderful, diverse community with a lot of different opinions, but always, I don't think I've ever seen anyone be disrespectful of anyone else's opinion.
Nope.
And so that's a wonderful thing, especially in the games industry where there's so much of that and it's so widely accepted. I think it's really nice to have a community where you can be safe expressing how you feel and what you like and what you don't like. And I think that's a wonderful thing.
Agreed.
Awesome. Should we wrap up on a positive note then?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Do I have to do the whole housekeeping thing?
If you
All right,
want to.
housekeeping?
We left a lot of games that we were going to talk about on the table. But we'll just save those for next time. They're not going anywhere.
Exactly. And we'll just have a little more time in them. So I'm going to do a little housekeeping. If you would like to get in touch with us, you can easily get in touch with us on Twitter. We are at talking_games. Justin, your individual Twitter is?
I am at Joroak, Joroak.
Chuck?
I'm Chucked.
Steve?
I am at dead_Anchorus.
Bobby is at Bobby Shortle. I am at Jackie Turner, JACQUI. If you would like to use more than 144 characters to contact us, you can email us at talkinggamespc@gmail.com.
Yes.
You can also get hold of us on Facebook at facebook.com/talkinggamespc. You can also visit our mother site, which is talkingcomicbooks.com, where we have lots and lots of awesome content for you. Very English, right?
I'm not sure what that was.
I was
hang on
enunciating
a
very
second.
clearly.
Hang
No,
on.
you're just trying to throw me off the
I'm
rails.
not trying to throw you off. I just thought this was this kind of fit in with that.
Yes.
Christopher Pass, who is at Chris Pass 6487. He just says, I love the fact that there's a British person amongst you, and sometimes you have no idea what she's talking about, but I do. Love it.
Oh, awesome.
Also, Adam, who's at Zeus Thunderpole, asked us about VR and whether we think it's impractical and stuff. But I feel like we answered the VR talk.
Absolutely. And there's going to be a lot of that coming in the future as
Yes.
well. Okay, so that's how you can contact us. If you go to talkingcomicbooks.com, there are articles, there are podcasts, there are videos, there's streaming, there's a ton of content for you to look, both comics and games. So please do check it out.
One more.
Are you
just one more second.
This finger in the air thing?
I was trying to be subtle about it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, this is our 100th. I didn't want to leave anybody out. James, who's Hammond, who's at Part-Time Powers.
Yes.
Asked a couple of questions. James, I thought these were good questions. Especially the drunk one. We'll answer these on the next show.
We definitely will. We will definitely get to your questions.
The what one?
Drunk. He said he was drunk.
Oh, I thought you said the junk one.
It was a very funny question that started as a question and then went into more of a blah 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 blah. I'm drunk. It's very funny. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to every single person that has downloaded the show for the last 100 episodes, because honestly, that's the only reason we are still here and we are still doing this. Because otherwise we'd just be sitting in a room talking to each other, and obviously that is just not enough for us. We need to be recording it and we need to be pulling it out.
Yeah, that just sounds just awful.
Oh, just
my
boring.
God.
Like, oh God, can you imagine?
I hate all of you.
I don't. I love you all very, very much. But that's only because this might be my 5th pint of beer. That's the only reason I like Justin right now.
It's true.
No, I love him really. Anyway.
Wrap it up, Jackie.
I'm wrapping it up very slowly. Very slowly.
It's not like we're on camera or anything.
Come on.
So thank you everyone so much for listening. And we hope you've enjoyed our 100th episode spectacular. Thanks, Chuck. Yeah. Like Chuck's the only one that joined
Jazz
right
hands.
there.
I gave a thumbs up. I did the gritty face.
So thank you everyone so much. We will be back next week with episode 101.